All right, cool. And again, we all know how to read. It's not about reading these words. It's a direct transmission from, our brother Christ. So let's receive it and give it in the spirit that it's given. All right, so I'm gonna start to my right. And I just encourage, no one knows who's to my right. So I encourage everyone to just take a big, deep breath and know that you're safe. Lean in. And let's listen to Holy Spirit from our brother Doug. You're muted. Okay, cool.
Nothing I see means anything. The reason this is so is that I see nothing. And nothing has no meaning. It is necessary that I recognize this, that I may learn to see. What I think I see now is taking the place of vision. I must let it go by realizing it has no meaning, so that vision may take its place. Nothing I see means anything. I have given what I see all the meaning that it has for me. I have judged everything I look upon, and it is this and only this I see. This is not vision. It's merely an illusion of reality, because my judgments have made me quite apart from reality. I am willing to recognize the lack of validity in my judgments because I want to see. My judgments have hurt me, and I do not want to see according to them.
Yeah.
I have given what I see all the meaning that it has for me.
Could you take a big breath for me?
Yeah.
And read that last sentence again. I just really need to hear that.
My judgments have hurt me, and I do not want to see according to them. I've given what I see all the meaning that it has for me.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
All right, Anna, would you do a few for us, please?
I do not understand anything I see. How could I understand what I see when I have judged it amiss? What I see is a projection of my own errors of thought. I do not understand what I see because it is not understandable. There is no sense in trying to understand it. But there is every reason to let it go. but there is every reason to let it go and make room for what can be seen and understood
Mm,
and loved.
mm, mm.
I can exchange what I see now for this merely by being willing to do so. Is not this a better choice than the one I made before?
Mm.
I do not understand anything I see.
Mm, mm.
These thoughts do not mean anything.
Mm.
The thoughts of which I am aware do not mean anything because I am trying to think without God. What I call my thoughts are not my real thoughts. My real thoughts are the thoughts I think with God. I am not aware of them because I've made my thoughts to take their place. I am willing to recognize that my thoughts do not mean anything and to let them go. I am willing to recognize that my thoughts do not mean anything
Mm.
and to let them go. I choose to have them be replaced by what they were intended to replace. My thoughts are meaningless, but all creation lies in the thoughts I think with God.
Mm.
These thoughts do not mean anything.
Thank you. Mm. Megan, can you do a few for us? Got your book, love?
I am never upset for the reason I think.
Mm.
I am never upset for the reason I think because I'm constantly trying to justify my thoughts. I am constantly trying to make them true, to make all things my enemies, so that my anger is justified and my attacks are warranted. I have not realized how much I have misused everything I see by assigning this role to it. I have done this to defend a thought system that has hurt me, and I no longer want. I am willing to let it go. I am never upset for the reason I think.
Do another one. But take a big breath prior to. Just take a big breath. Just lean into this, all right?
Okay.
Yeah, I love you. Thank you.
I am upset because I see what is not there. Reality is never frightening. It is impossible that it could upset me. Reality brings only perfect peace. When I am upset, it is always because I have replaced reality with illusions I made up.
Mm.
The illusions are upsetting because I have given them reality and thus regard reality as an illusion. Nothing in God's creation is affected in any way by this confusion of mine. I am always upset by nothing. I am upset because I see what is not there.
Do another one, please.
I see only the past. As I look about, I condemn the world I look upon. I call this seeing. I hold the past against everyone and everything, making them my enemies. When I have forgiven myself and remembered who I am, I will bless everyone and everything I see.
Take a second. Just take a second. And just let that drop in. Yes.
There will be no past, and therefore no enemies. And I will look with love on all that I failed to see before. I see only the past.
Thank you, sis. Lori, would you like to? Thank you.
My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see only my own thoughts, and my mind is preoccupied with the past. What then can I see as it is? Let me remember what I look on the past to prevent the present from drawing on my mind. Let me understand that I am trying to use time against God. Let me learn to give the past away, realizing that in so doing, I am giving up nothing. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see nothing as it is now. If I see nothing as it is now, it can truly be said that I see nothing. I can see only what is now. The choice is not whether to see the past or the present. The choice is merely whether to see or not. What I have chosen to see has cost me vision. Now I would choose again that I may see. I see nothing as it is now. My thoughts do not mean anything. I have no private thoughts. It is only private thoughts of which I am aware. What can these thoughts mean? Why do they do not exist? And so they mean nothing. Yet my mind is part of creation and part of its creator. Would I not rather join the thinking of the universe than to obscure all that is really mine with my pitiful and meaningless private thoughts? My thoughts do not mean anything.
Thank you, Lori. Vivian, would you like to read a few?
My meaningless thoughts are
Wow.
showing me in. I'm sorry.
No, I just said wow. This one.
Oh, about my meaningless thoughts. Yeah. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. Since the thoughts of which I am aware do not mean anything, the world that pictures them can have no meaning. What is producing this world is insane. and so is what it produces. Reality is not insane, and I have real thoughts as well as insane ones. I can therefore see a real world if I look to my real thoughts as my guide for seeing. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world.
You don't have to go so fast. You don't have to go so fast into that next one. Just like, yeah, just.
I am upset because I see a meaningless world. Insane thoughts are upsetting. They produce a world in which there is no order anywhere. Only chaos rules a world that represents chaotic thinking. And chaos has no laws. I cannot live in peace in such a world. I'm grateful that this world is not real, and that I need not see it at all unless I choose to value it. And I do not choose to value what is totally insane and has no meaning. I am upset because I see a meaningless world.
Do another one.
A meaningless world engenders fear. The totally insane engenders fear because it's completely undependable and offers no grounds for trust. Nothing in madness is dependable. It holds out no safety and no hope. But such a world is not real. I've given it the illusion of reality and have suffered from my belief in it. Now I choose to withdraw this belief and place my trust in reality. In choosing this, I will escape all the effects of the world of fear, because I am acknowledging that it does not exist. A meaningless world engenders fear.
Thank you. Anthea, would you like to? Thank you.
God did not create a meaningless world. How can a meaningless world exist if God did not create it? He is the source of all meaning, and everything that is real is in his mind. It is in my mind too, because he created it with me. Why should I continue to suffer from the effects of my own insane thoughts when the perfection of creation is my home? Let me remember the power of my decision and recognize where I really abide. God did not create a meaningless world. My thoughts are images that I have made. Whatever I see reflects my thoughts. It is my thoughts that tell me where I am and what I am. The fact that I see a world in which there is suffering and loss and death shows me that I am seeing only the representation of my insane thoughts and am not allowing my real thoughts to cast their beneficent light on what I see. Yet God's way is sure. The images I have made cannot prevail against him because it is not my will that they do so. My will is his, and I will place no other gods before him. My thoughts are images that I have made.
To another.
I have no neutral thoughts. Neutral thoughts are impossible because all thoughts have power. They will either make a false world or lead me to the real one. But thoughts cannot be without effects. As the world I see arises from my thinking errors, so will the real world rise before my eyes as I let my errors be corrected. My thoughts cannot be neither true nor false. They must be one or the other. What I see shows me which they are. I have no neutral thoughts.
Ah, I'll read the next two, even though I really want to hear you read them. All right, I'll do it. I'll do it. I see no neutral things. What I see witnesses to what I think. If I did not think, I would not exist because life is thought. Let me look on the world I see as the representation of my own state of mind. I know that my state of mind can change. And so I also know the world I see can change as well. I see no neutral things. Oh. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. If I have no private thoughts, I cannot see a private world. Even the mad idea of separation had to be shared before it could form the basis of the world I see. Yet that sharing was a sharing of nothing. I can also call upon my real thoughts, which share everything with everyone. As my thoughts of separation call to the separation thoughts of others. As my thoughts of separation call to the separation thoughts of others, so my real thoughts awaken the real thoughts in them. And the world my real thoughts show me will dawn on their sight as well as mine. I am not alone. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. I want to read one more. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. I am alone in nothing. Everything I think or say or do teaches all the universe. A son of God cannot think or speak or act in vain. He cannot be alone in anything. It is therefore in my power to change every mind along with mine. For mine is the power of God. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. John, could you read a few?
I am determined to see. Recognizing the shared nature of my thoughts, I'm determined to see. I would look upon the witnesses that show me the thinking of the world has been changed. I would behold the proof that what has been done through me has love to replace fear, laughter to replace tears, and abundance to replace loss. I would look upon the real world and let it teach me that my will and the will of God are would behold the proof that what has been done has enabled love to replace fear, laughter to replace tears, and abundance to replace loss. I would look upon the real world and let it teach me that my will and the will of God, I'm determined to see. those words, I would behold the proof that what has been done through me has enabled love to replace fear, laughter to replace tears, and abundance to replace loss. I would look upon the real world and let it teach me that my will and the will of God are one. Oh, I think I was waiting
Take
all
it right
day.
back in. Take it right back into this next lesson. Take it right back in.
Those were,
Take it right back in. Put it right back in.
I'm determined
There you go.
to see things differently.
Yes.
What I see now are but signs of disease, disaster, and death.
Mm.
This cannot be what God created for his beloved Son.
Mm.
The very fact that I see such things is proof that I do not understand God.
Mm.
Therefore, I also do not understand his Son. What I see tells me that I do not know who I am.
Mm.
What I see tells me that I do not know who I am. I am determined to see the witnesses to the truth in me rather than those that show me an illusion of myself. I have to say that again. I am determined to see the witnesses to the truth in me rather than those that show me an illusion of myself. I'm determined to see things differently.
Do another one.
What I see is a form of vengeance. The world I see is hardly the representation of loving thoughts. It is a picture of attack on everything by everything. It is anything but a reflection of the law of God and the law of his Son. It is my own attack thoughts that give rise to this picture. My loving thoughts will save me from this perception of the world and give me peace of God intended me to have. What I see is a form of vengeance.
Do another one. There you go.
I can escape this world by giving up attack. Herein lies salvation and nowhere else. Without attack thoughts, I could not see a world of attack. As forgiveness allows love to return to my awareness, I will see a world of peace and safety and joy. It is this I choose to see in place of what I look on now. I can escape this world by giving back thoughts, and herein lies salvation and nowhere else.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Bug. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
We gotta go to Anna. Anna's gonna burst in a second. Anna, read a few.
Sure.
Thank you.
I do not perceive my own best interests. I do not perceive my own best interests. How could I recognize my own best interests when I do not know who I am? What I think are my best interests would merely bind me closer to the world of illusions. I am willing to follow the guide God has given me to find out what my own best interests are, recognizing that I cannot perceive them. I cannot perceive them by myself. I do not perceive my own best interests. I do not know what anything is for. I do not know what anything is for. To me, the purpose of everything is to prove that my illusions about myself are real. It is for this purpose that I attempt to use everyone and everything. It is for this that I believe the world is for. Therefore, I do not recognize its real purpose. The purpose I have given the world has led to a frightening picture of it. Let me open my mind to the world's real purpose by withdrawing the one I have given it and learning the truth about it. I do not know what anything is for.
Do another one.
My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. How can I know who I am when I see myself as under constant attack? Pain, illness, loss, age, and death seem to threaten me. All my hopes and wishes and plans appear to be at the mercy of a world I cannot control. Yet perfect security and complete fulfillment are my inheritance. Yet perfect security and complete fulfillment are my inheritance. I have tried to give my inheritance away. I've tried to give my inheritance away in exchange for the world I see. But God has kept my inheritance safe for me. My own real thoughts will teach me what it is. My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability.
Do another one.
Above all else, I want to see. Recognizing that what I see reflects what I think I am, I realize that vision is my greatest need.
Whew.
The world I see attests to the fearful nature of the self-image I have made. The world I see attests to the fearful nature of the self-image I have made. If I would remember who I am, it is essential that I let this image of myself go. As it is replaced by truth, vision will surely be given me. And with this vision, I will look upon the world and on myself with charity and love. Above all else, I want to see.
Thank you, Anna. Megan, can you read a few? Thank you. Oh, this one right here.
Above all else, I want to see differently.
Mm.
The world I see holds my fearful self-image in place and guarantees its continuance. While I see the world as I see it now, truth cannot enter my awareness. I would let the door behind this world be opened for me, that I may look past it to the world that reflects the love of God.
Mm.
Above all else, I want to see differently.
Did you read that one again for me?
Which, the
That
entire
one.
thing?
Yeah, just take a breath, and could you just read it really, just slowly for me? Because above all else, I want to see differently. I really do. Thank you.
Above all else, I want to see differently.
Yeah.
The world I see holds my fearful self-image in place and guarantees its continuance. While I see the world as I see it now, truth cannot enter my awareness.
Just stop right there. Can you just read that sentence again? Just that sentence. Yeah.
While I see the world as I see it now,
Yeah.
truth cannot enter my awareness.
Take a breath. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
I would let the door behind this world be opened for me, that I may look past it to the world that reflects the love of God. Above all else, I want to see differently.
Thank you. Thank you.
God is in everything I see. Behind every image I have made, the truth remains unchanged. Behind every veil I have drawn across the face of love, its light remains undimmed. Beyond all my insane wishes is my will, united with the will of my Father. God is still everywhere and in everything, forever. And we who are part of him will yet look past all appearances and recognize the truth beyond them all. God isn't everything I see.
Do another one, please. Take a big breath. And let this hit you. It's hitting me.
God isn't everything I see because God is in my mind.
Oh, stop. Boom. I can't move. Breathe. Oh.
In my own mind,
Mm.
behind all my insane thoughts of separation and attack,
Mhm.
is the knowledge that all is one forever. I have not lost the knowledge of who I am because I have forgotten it. It has been kept for me in the mind of God, who has not left his thoughts, and I, who am among them, am one with them and one with him. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind.
Thank you. Thank you, Megan. Lori. Can't even speak. Lori, could you please?
I am not the victim
Uh,
of the world I see. How can I be the victim of a world that can be completely undone if I so choose? My chains are loosened. I can drop them off merely by desiring to do so. The prison door is open. I can leave simply by walking out. Nothing holds me in this world. Only my wish to stay keeps me a prisoner. I would give up my insane wishes and walk into the sunlight at last. I am not the victim of the world I see. I have invented the world I see. I made up the prison in which I see myself. All I have to do is recognize this and I am free. I have deluded myself into believing it is possible to imprison the Son of God. I was bitterly mistaken in this belief, which I no longer want. The Son of God must be forever free. The Son of God must be forever
Thank
free.
you.
The Son of God must be forever free.
There you go.
He is as God created him and not what I would make of him. He is where God would have him be and not where I thought to hold him prisoner. I have invented the world I see.
Take a breath and do another.
There is another way of looking at the world. Since the purpose of the world is not the one I ascribe to it, there must be another way of looking at it. I see everything upside down And my
noise
thoughts
that
are the
sound.
opposite of truth. I see the world as a prison for God's Son.
Mm.
It must be then that the world is really a place where he can be set free.
Yes.
I would look upon the world as it is and see it as a place where the Son of God finds his freedom. There is another way of looking at the world. I could see peace instead of this.
I knew you wanted to read that.
Oh, yeah. I could see peace instead of this.
Mm.
When I see the world as a place of freedom,
Mm.
I realize that it reflects the laws of God instead of the rules I made up for it to obey. I will understand that peace, not war, abides in it. And I will perceive that peace also abides in the hearts of all who share this place with me. And I will perceive that peace also abides in the hearts of all who share this place with me.
Thank you.
I could see peace instead of this.
Mm. Thank you, Lori. I have to hear Anthea read this next one. And you'll see why. Thank you, Lori. It's beautiful. Thank you. Hello, Governor.
Mhm.
Mm.
My mind is part of God's. I am very holy.
Mm.
As I share the peace of the world with my brothers, I begin to understand that this peace comes from deep within myself.
Mm.
The world I look upon has taken on the light of my forgiveness and shines forgiveness back at me. In this light, I begin to see what my illusions about myself kept hidden.
Mm.
I begin to understand the holiness of all living things, including myself, and their oneness with me. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. My holiness envelops everything I see. From my holiness does the perception of the real world come. Having forgiven, I no longer see myself as guilty. I can accept the innocence that is the truth about me. Seen through understanding eyes, the holiness of the world is all I see. For I can picture only the thoughts I hold about myself.
Ooh.
My holiness envelops everything I see. My holiness blesses the world. The perception of my holiness does not bless me alone. Everyone and everything I see in its light shares in the joy it brings to me. There is nothing that is apart from this joy, because there is nothing that does not share my holiness. As I recognize my holiness, so does the holiness of the world shine forth for everyone to see. My holiness blesses the world.
Thank you. Oh, do one more for me, please.
There is nothing my holiness cannot do. My holiness is unlimited in its power to heal. Because it is unlimited in its power to save. What is there to be saved from except illusions? And what are all illusions except false ideas about myself? My holiness undoes them all by asserting the truth about me. In the presence of my holiness, which I share with God Himself, all idols vanish. There is nothing my holiness cannot do.
Thank you, sis. Oh, Vivian.
My holiness is my salvation. Since my holiness saves me from all guilt, recognizing my holiness is recognizing my salvation. It's also recognizing the salvation of the world. Once I have accepted my holiness, nothing can make me afraid.
Oh, pause right there. Oh. Can you read that one again?
Once I have accepted my holiness, nothing can make me afraid. And because I am unafraid, everyone must share in my understanding. Because I am unafraid, everyone must share in my understanding, which is the gift of God to me and to the world. My holiness is my salvation. I am blessed as a son of God.
Oh, take a minute right there. And just like we did on Saturday, take that moment. There you go.
My holiness is my salvation. I am blessed as a son of God. Herein lies my claim to all good and only good.
Just stop right there. Let that in.
Mm. I am blessed as a son of God. Herein lies my claim to all good and only good. I am blessed as a son of God. All good things are mine because God intended them for me. I cannot suffer any loss or deprivation or pain because of who I am. My Father supports me, protects me, and directs me in all things. His care for me is infinite and is with me forever, forever, forever. I am eternally blessed as his son. I am blessed as a son of God. God goes with me wherever I go. How can I be alone when God always goes with me? How can I be doubtful and unsure of myself when perfect certainty abides in him? How can I be disturbed by anything when he rests in me in absolute peace? How can I suffer when love and joy surround me through him? Let me not cherish illusions about myself. I'm perfect because God goes with me wherever I go. God goes with me wherever I go.
I want you to read another one for me, please, but I want you to just wait because you can't move so fast. God goes with me wherever I go. So
God.
just take a big breath. Wait. Yeah, there you go.
God is my strength.
Yeah.
Vision is his gift. Let me not look to my own eyes to see today. Let me be willing to exchange my pitiful illusion of seeing with a vision that is given by God. Christ's vision is his gift, and he has given it to me. He has given it to me. He has given it to me. Let me call upon this gift today so that this day may help me to understand eternity. God is my strength. Vision is his gift.
There you go. So just let that sink in. It moves so fast. Mm. Mm. Thank you, Vivian. Anna, where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Anna, you tilted? Mm.
God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. I can see what God wants me to see. I cannot see anything else. Beyond his will lie only illusions. Beyond his will lie only illusions. It is these I choose when I think I can see apart from him. It is these I choose when I try to see through the body's eyes.
Mm.
Yet the vision of Christ has been given to replace them. Yet the vision of Christ has been given me to replace them.
Mm.
It is through this vision that I choose to see.
Rubbish.
God is my source.
I don't believe
I
you.
cannot see apart from him.
Read it again. Hey, Megan. Look,
God is
there's
my
a Megan.
source. I cannot see apart from him. Dave.
No. Ready? Put it down for a second. That's terrible. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. You got to hear you read this, not some Zoom room, bunch of people, crazy people like looking for God. Ready? You got to hear you read it. We don't care less. We're just here to watch you and have a bit of a laugh. Ready? You're the dreamer of your dream. You've got to hear you read this. You only got to read one of these lessons. You only got to hear one of these thoughts, like totally, fully, and you'll disappear from the world, right? But you have to proceed along the lines that you want to continue on with. And if you're half-hearted and just like, blah, 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 right? I know the passion that's in you. I know exactly what's in you, how much power there is, how much light you've got, everything. You can't hide a damn thing from me. This is your salvation, Anna. You ready? Feel it. Feel it. It's got nothing to do with the words. That's it. Now read. There you are. Here I am, Lord. I'm participating in my own salvation. You got to activate yourself. You got to feel it. Feel. Laurie, you got to feel. Megan, you got to feel. Anthea, feel. This is about the heart space. We can read this for the next 1,000 years. You're here to have an experience. You're here to heal. You're here to release. You're here to have this whole universe just go, whoop, flash out. And remember what you are as a spirit. One in God. That's the whole point of anything. Every relationship, every moment, every breath, every heartbeat. I abide in God. That's either a conscious abidance or it's nothing. It's just words. Ted used to say you got to walk and chew gum. Go for it.
God is my source. I cannot see apart from him.
Let it take you where it needs to go. You ready? Let it take you. Don't try to control what's going on. Just let it happen. If you suddenly can't read the words, great. If you suddenly feel like you're going to have a heart attack, great. If you suddenly feel like your head's going to explode, fantastic. Just let it do what it needs to do in you. It's not the words, it's the frequency. It's the whole vibratory association that the words are representing that you're learning to align with right now, right here. Breathe. You're literally standing in a doorway, literally. Every moment. Go for it.
I can see what God wants me to see. I cannot see anything else.
Let it happen.
Beyond his will lie only illusions. It is these I choose when I think I can see apart from him.
And examine it. Feel it, feel it, feel it.
It is these I choose when I try to see through the body's eyes. Yet the vision of Christ has been given me to replace them. It is through this vision that I choose to see.
Do you? Do you choose to see through that vision? Or are they just words? So where do I connect with it? You know how many people followed Jesus across the sea? And he turned around and he sent them all away. Thousands, tens of thousands following him. And he said, you don't want me for what I teach. You want me for the fishes and the loaves and the miracles that I do. That's the mindset of the human condition. I want what I can get out of something now. I don't want to hear something that's for my greater good. Just satisfy me and gratify me now. Right? The ego will use these words, these teachings, that part of your mind that's looking for a temporal association. It'll use these teachings to keep you in some kind of game of being spiritual. Right? We're not about that game. Fuck being spiritual. Fuck being religious. Fuck being any of that stuff. Not interested. I'm already something. I'm already that which God created. I am already spirit. I don't have any use for anything other than that. Hey, Heidi G. Tuning in with a new hairstyle. Very fresh and nice. This is beyond everything, Anna. This teaching opens the mind to a portal in you that is beyond everything, that leads beyond everything. When Jesus says, give up the world and follow me, that's what he means. Give up the world, follow me. I'm leaving this world. You're coming with me. All you have to do is say these words and mean them. Not just say these words and think you mean them. You got to mean them. That's how it works. I say it, I connect with it. As I teach it, I hear myself teach it, and it's like, holy cow, I heard myself say that. That was a bit half-hearted. I obviously have something preventing me from connecting with Jesus on a fully, integrated level here. There must be still blockages, grievances, wants, desires, needs, and stuff like that in the world that I have. Let me look at that for a second. Let me seek for those blocks and find them so I can deal with it, so I can give it to God, so I can offer it to the Holy Spirit and be done with that shit. So that when I connect with these words, I'm connecting on a level that's at the level of Christ's mind. And then boom, you're out. Right? There's always this, what would you call it? It's like, it's a little push. There's something that happens in the mind between when you're reading it and when you connect with it. You read it and read it and read it and read it, and you tell yourself you know what it says, and you know what it says. What it says is nothing. What it says is just as illusory as what it doesn't say. Right? It's what it does in the mind when you connect with it. It opens up something on a whole other level, and you just go, whoo, the light goes on, and, you know, try to step out of the idea that you're reading words on a page and try to step into an idea that you're being inaugurated into a divine order of celestial association. That'll help you to sort of think outside of the box, right? You're not waking up. There's no Ana Utek that wakes up. And I'm just picking on you. It's the same for everybody, right? Ana that's reading the Ana that's reading the words on the page is a complete illusion, an avatar, a nothing, doesn't exist. The you that wakes up is the Christ mind. And we are all that. It's one mind waking up. When that mind wakes up, Ana will cease to exist. And that'll be good news for you. Because when you wake up and you realize what you truly are, you won't want to go back to being Ana again. I didn't want to go back to being Dave again, but just for a second, here I am. All right, read it. Connect. That's it. Take a breath. Anthea, you're next. What, you think I'm not going to pick on you?
God is the light in which I see.
Yes.
I cannot see in darkness. God is the only light. God is the only light. Therefore, if I am to see it, it must be through him. I have tried to define what seeing is, and I have been wrong.
How joyous are you to discover that you have been wrong?
Now it is given me to understand that God is the light in which I see. Let me welcome vision and the happy world it will show me. God is the light in which I see.
What's the activating word in that whole thing? Let me welcome vision. That's the action of mind, to let yourself welcome it. I don't want to do that. I'll let myself talk about it. But if I let myself welcome it, that's going to end the dream. Isn't that right, Anthea? Good. It's like if a human being was to pick up this book, that's the other one, but if a human being was to pick up this book and actually realize what it's offering, like straight away, you could look at the cover. And I've had people say to me, I saw the cover of that book and I was transfixed in the bookstore. I had to buy it. I couldn't leave the bookstore without it. I don't even know why. I have people tell me stuff like that all the time, right? But if you actually knew what that book was offering, like the escape from time and space, it's like I have this thing that sometimes, like when I'm reading this book, which is the Old Testament or the New Testament, right? You know, sometimes when you go and you see a blockbuster movie at the cinema or something like that, and then the movie finishes and you come outside and you still sort of feel like you're in the movie, like you're just like John Wayne or whatever. And you're kind of like in your head, you're acting out like the movie influence, you know, however it influenced you for a second. And when I read the New Testament, it's like, I feel myself there in the desert. I feel myself there in Jerusalem. I feel myself in places, you know, and the Bible's not particularly descriptive. It doesn't go into detail about they lived in little mud huts and whatever. There's just very, very scant on any kind of anything. You know, Vivian, if you were a scribe back then, you would have done a much better job, I'm sure. But you can feel it. You can feel the sun, you can feel, you know, and that's the heart space connecting. That's where it's connecting, getting out of the head and into the heart. And you feel the association that the words put you with. And it's like when you're watching a movie and you come out and you feel like you're still under the influence of watching the movie. It's because you felt it. It affected you on a level. It's not just something you watched it and you went, oh, that was fun, and then you walk out. Right? You have to let things affect you. It's part of the experience of being alive on earth. Right? We let our emotions affect us, right? But we try not to, because we know what they're capable of. We try to push them away. And what happens is we train our mind to push away everything until finally we just feel dead. We don't even realize we're doing it. We push away the stuff that we would enjoy. We push away the stuff that we would call good stuff, because we've conditioned our minds not to want to feel stuff in case we get hurt. And our minds form this kind of defensive posture, even when we're being introduced to people. We subconsciously are defending ourselves against letting anything real in, which is why 5 seconds later, you can forget whoever's name it was, you just shook their hand. You're not really connecting on any given sort of level, which is why it takes a lot in this. And the first half of the workbook is devoted to undoing the way you see things now, undoing the way you think. My screen's gone all dark. I'm not sure why that is. But it takes to get into that heart space, you know, where the reading of it and the hearing of it and the feeling of it all sort of line up and connect. And that's when you start to get emotional with it. And that's a good thing, Anna. Right? Feeling that emotionality around it when you're reading it, whether you want to call that emotionality, or I hate it, it makes me feel terrible, or I love it, it makes me feel great. It doesn't matter how it makes you feel. Just the fact that you feel is a good thing. It's better than reading it like a robot and not feeling anything at all, because that feeling is the vibration that's contained within it. Okay? What you feel when you read it, when you actually connect, is the vibration contained within it affecting you. It's affecting you. It's getting in. It's doing what it needs to do. And you're responding to it and you don't even know why. They're just words on a page that you give a meaning to. Right? But they do something when you really feel them, when you really connect with them. Okay? You can sit and listen to, my teacher Greta told me this little story. It's a lovely story. I don't think I've told you guys before, but there were two guys at a mountaineering or mountain climbing conference, right? That some of the guys went to in America, and they were, you know, when you learn abseiling and you learn how to go up and down rock faces and things like that.
Oh, no,
So there was a guy that was giving these little lectures, or there's a few guys, speakers and whatever, giving lectures. And the one guy that was giving lectures about equipment and all this sort of stuff, he was kind of like flat. His talk was like uninspiring, flat, whatever. That guy had never climbed a mountain. He was a salesman for technology. He was a salesman for equipment, but he'd never actually climbed a mountain. The other speaker that spoke had climbed freaking Mount Everest. And everybody was interested, not because he'd climbed Mount Everest. It wouldn't have mattered what mountain he climbed, but he was speaking from his experience. He was speaking from having actually done it, actually, you know, connected with that climb. And everyone that was interested in climbing could feel it from him. Right? The other guy was just dead words. It was just nothing. He was just talking and yak, 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 yak. So you got to get to the point, and that's what we're doing in this, where we activate ourselves and get to the point where we actually can feel what we're reading, not just read it. Right? I know I talk about that a lot. It's important. It's really
Not
important
enough.
to,
Oh,
well, maybe not enough, but it's,
I thought I was muted.
you're not muted. But it's important to connect. Even when you're having conversations with people, you know, are you actually having a conversation with someone, or are you just waiting for your opportunity to say what you think you're going to say? Are you listening? Are you hearing? Or are you sitting there with an agenda of what you're going to say, not really listening to what they're talking about? It's as if their conversation's getting in the way of what you want to say. And you kind of subconsciously tune out to what they're really saying, thus not really hearing anything at all. And when you say your thing, you're only responding to the part that they said like 5 minutes ago, and they pick up on that. Because it's not the words, it's not the conversation. They're offering you a 5-minute frequential experience. You're only accepting 1.5 minutes of it, because 1.5 minutes in, you decided to judge it and think of something to offer back, right? It's not the words. The words are meaningless, right? I'll talk here for 15 minutes, and if you're stuck on something I said 10 minutes ago, you're not getting the whole package, okay? The whole package is what's on offer. When you read one of these lessons, the whole package is on offer in any, you know, it's like, but I've got to connect with it. It doesn't do you any good if you connect with the first line and then sort of like meh, through the rest. You got to be consciously reading, consciously hearing, consciously like joining with what it is that's going on, because everything that's going on is going on in your own mind. And the attempt to perpetuate the idea of separation, or the belief in separation, keeps that separated from you. Okay, even your own thoughts get projected out and away. Okay, which is why we suddenly have 365 lessons, and we're all here in this thing going, what the hell am I doing in my mind? Why is my mind such a mess? Why does my life keep going like this, and I keep getting whatever and punching people and whatever it was Anthea did last time? Slap someone or something, I forget the story, but yeah. Is there an episode 2 to that, Anthea? Has there been a reconciliation and a healing, or what's gone on there?
Don't ask me, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, well, that's a good thing, I suppose. That was just another glitch along the road to salvation on a thorny byway. We'll just let it go. Anyway, all right, what are we doing today? Anyone else? Anyone hasn't read anything? Have you guys all had a go at reading? I was a bit late because I had to, I mean, it's all perfect, but I had real estate people here. I'm selling my house, but, which will probably bring up a load of emotional stuff. And that's why we're here. Doug, you've shaved your head. Very good. Very good. Megan, you're off to join the opera or record an album or something. How cool is that, though? You just keep saying yes and just keep saying yes, and stuff keeps happening.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm singing again tomorrow. did I ever point out the name of the stage to you guys? It was called Mystic Gardens. So I thought that was really funny.
Mystic Guardians? That's funny.
Mystic,
That's
Mystic Gardens. Yeah, I thought that was really fitting and appropriate.
yeah, how appropriate is that?
Yeah, and
You know what I didn't, like in that message you sent me about the whole thing, and I know you're going to look for representation. I didn't like that the drummer only gets 5%.
yeah, I didn't
I play
decide
the
that.
drums.
I didn't decide that. So I just sing yes to everything. That's all I said. I just said yes, Jordan. So it's kind of like this swirling. I thought I was dipping a toe into the proverbial waters. Holy shit. I didn't know it was like a whole swirling mystical whirlpool vortex. Holy God.
Yeah.
So yeah, now there's the photo shoot was great. I actually brought you up as Guru Aussie Man. And
Oh,
we
really?
talked dinner for it because the photographer was like, yeah, we should really get some shots in these trees. I'm like, really? You sound really certain about that. So sorry. Anyways, carry on. Before I just completely turn into nonsense. But you get it. It's going great. And I'm just saying yes everything
Good.
and watching it unfold.
Good. Just keep saying yes, keep turning up. That's it. There to represent God. That's all that happens. You just choose. I'm here to represent God. You just turn up and the miracles happen. Stuff just happens.
Well, yeah, and actually before that photo shoot, I actually came upon, on the, you want to go the heavier side of things, a bunch of girls that were underage drinking in the bathroom. Just teenage girls that were very lost, and I did the only thing I knew how to do, and I spoke music and stuff. They were really scared it's gonna like be a Karen and rat them out and this and that, and it didn't matter because it's not what was needed. It didn't matter. I don't know how to articulate it, but I know you understand.
Yeah.
If I try to articulate it, it's just gonna become a mess.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? So music is like my ministry, I guess, and that's what happened, and it just went really well. And then onto a photo shoot that was a lot of fun. And so yeah, it's doing a lot of good stuff, and I'm just along for the ride and watching it unfold. There you go.
Good. What else do we got, Vivian? How's your week? Thrown all your meds away? Into the bin. Slam dunk.
No.
Oh,
but
never mind.
I when I take them, I feel like I'm trying.
You feel
But
like
I
a
haven't
what?
been able to stop taking them yet. I feel like it's worthless. Like
Right.
I keep doing it just in case I'm wrong.
God bless you. Maybe read lesson 76 a few more times and really let it get in there, you know. But the whole thing is, huh?
I have been trying other things and eating things that I've pushed away, you know, saying, oh, it's not healthy. Lately, I've been eating them.
Oh, good. Well, let's
so
start.
what?
That's good.
So,
It's all body
put
association.
your voice in my
stuff,
head.
you know? Right. Listen to that voice. That's the voice of reason. It's going to tell you, Vivian, go and have a damn chocolate milkshake.
Yes.
Why the hell not? Jesus said, eat whatever's put before you. It's not what you put into your mouth that can poison you, but every word that proceeds from the mouth of man. Right? When you really hear that, it's like, holy cow, what have I been doing? All these diets and special foods and medications and vitamins and all these weird beliefs in maintaining my body, which will maintain itself perfectly if I live from my spirit. It'll fulfill its function flawlessly. You know, I healed myself of cancer with the power of my mind. It was a miracle. It wasn't just me. It was like me and, you know, the big guy, but it was a choice. I said no to chemo. I said no to any other drugs, no to doctors, no to everything. How did that happen? It was a miracle. But don't forget your goji berries. Your kiwi fruit. Don't eat the seeds.
Okay.
The seeds contain something that's bad for you, something else. And it's like, oh my God, where does it end?
Oh, yeah.
Where does it end? When do I just be myself, you know? Anyway, that's good. I love the story of St. Francis when he came across, he was walking somewhere and he came across the procession with the king. What's his name? The king, Ferdinand. I want to say Ferdinand, but I don't remember. And there's what was it? Tina, do you know it? Anyway, but whatever. St. Francis is walking along, you know, and the king's there with all his crown on and his jewels and his scepter and the whole thing, and all the knights are behind him and everything else, like a whole thing. And he tells the king, throw all your shit in the river and everyone can enjoy the sparkles in the water, you know, and all that sort of stuff. It's like, what is that? What is all this adornment and extra stuff that we put to our lives that we think is somehow going to benefit us? A big lump of metal sitting on my head with some stones in it. What are they? The infinity stones from the Guardians of the Galaxy or something? Do they have special powers? It's like, do they make me more than I possibly could ever be? Of course not. I could only ever be as God created me. What's a bunch of stones or a bunch of special jewels, you know? Same thing. What's a bunch of vitamins? What's a bunch of anything? So, but it's like we have to take on board this posture, you know? So I have it all the time. Like every day, something will show up. This is healthy and this is good for you. And like immediately my mind goes, ooh, you know, and then I have to step back and go, hang on a minute. That's an illusion. Wait a second. That's not true. Really? It's kind of funny. Everything tries to trick you into believing you're a body. Everything in the world is designed to trick you into believing you're a body again and again and again, including the words I'm telling you now. Right? The only one thing that's going to relieve you from any kind of association with the body is direct union with your Father, is a holy instant, is a miracle, is a revelation, is an epiphany. Something that is not of this world that occurs in your mind to give you another whole point of focus for all your mental activity. All right? Until that occurs, your point of focus is forgiveness. Until that occurs, your point of focus is healing. Okay? Stay in that vibration, stay in that idea, and be really ruthless with yourself and radical with yourself when you find something that's out of accord with what it is Jesus is telling you, because this is a journey of faith. Okay? When am I going to take that leap of faith? Okay? Now, that's up to you. You may not have enough faith to take a leap of faith yet, but faith is its own reward. At some point, you got to step off the edge. At some point, you got to say, okay, I'm doing this. And that's going to be a conscious decision. Right? These vitamins, bin. Those special foods, bin. Chocolate milkshakes, yay. Whatever it is.
I got the yay part.
Right, yay. So, but it's always going to be a leap of faith. You know? So what am I going to do? Try and look after my body? What the hell for? It's only ever going to die at some point and end up in a pine box. I'm not going to need it at some point in my journey. Let that point be now. I don't need it now. I'm whole and perfect now. If I still have a use for it, it must be because I have denial and doubt about that idea in my mind. That's what I'm here to find. That's what I'm here to uncover. That's what I'm here to remove the blocks to, so that when Jesus says, give up the world and follow me, I'm like, yes, Lord. And I lay my body down, right? Only has to happen for an instant. In the twinkling of an eye, you'll be changed. Corruption will become incorruptible. You'll put on new skins, all of that sort of stuff. Born again. Okay. But it's an experience. It's not just words. It's not just concepts. It's not some man-made ceremony and pomp and circumstance and none of that stuff. It's an experience that has nothing to do with the world. I remember I think his name was Kevin. I had a friend years ago in Byron Bay, and Kevin and his wife attended the same spiritual center that I did. And I'm not sure what the disease is called, but the one where you lose all the pigment in your skin and it gradually you get big white patches and like all over. And his wife had this thing, but she'd accepted it, right? It was terminal for her. It wasn't just her skin. It was also the internal organs. It was affecting everything, right? Which is why they turned up there. But she was in this posture of acceptance. She had already accepted, I'm not a body. And she was cool with it. She had perfect peace around whatever was going to occur. She didn't know when, but whatever, the whole thing. And Kevin was completely beside himself. He was all over the place, right? He couldn't think straight. He couldn't do anything properly because he was so worried about her and the whole thing like that. And when he prayed to Jesus one day, Jesus actually took him out of his body and took him to this plateau. He said it was a plateau, like a massive hall, and they walked in these columns that went up higher than the sky, like these gold columns. And he said he walked with Jesus between these columns to the edge of this plateau and looked out into an endless expanse of creation. And he realized in that all his concerns and worries didn't matter. He knew that he was eternal. He knew that life was more than the body. And when he came back, he was fine. All of a sudden, he stopped worrying. He started eating properly. He went back to work and did all sorts of stuff, right? But that experience didn't happen in the world. It happened in mind, but outside of the framework of the physical dimension. Right? He was changed instantly.
How is it that by changing the mind, like say for you, the form also changed? You know, you healed yourself of cancer.
Right.
I mean, I do have those thoughts that says, I'm eternal, who cares? You know, but is that affecting my form, or
but they're your thoughts? Those are your thoughts.
Yeah.
Right. Those thoughts are just as deadly to you as any other thoughts.
Yeah. I would like it to affect the form. Maybe is that the thing that's holding me back?
The only thing holding you back is the belief that your thoughts can get you anything. Your thoughts are the problem. Your thoughts are the denial. That's why the mind training tells you, my thoughts do not mean anything. Okay? Anything. Even your spiritual ones. Even all the ones you read in A Course in Miracles don't mean anything. That's what the Course is telling you. Everything going on in this conscious bubble doesn't mean anything. Right? That's going to be a bit scary for a minute because you're used to depending on your thoughts because of the meaning you've given them. This one means this one means that. They're only useful to you to navigate your way around your physical experience. But if you don't know the purpose of your physical experience, they're not really any use to you at all. You're just going around in circles, doing different things, telling yourself you're doing different things, but still stuck within the circle. You know? You need a reference point outside of that circle altogether, a complete something else that happens in the mind so that you can begin to focus on that, not your thinking. Does that make sense?
Intellectually, yes. How do I do it?
So ask and you shall receive. Okay. You need an experience. You have to ask for an experience. Now, you're not going to want to do that. The mind that's hearing me say, to ask for an experience is the ego mind. It is the mind in consciousness. All consciousness is the domain of the ego. Okay. So when I say to you, ask and you shall receive, knock and the door should be open, you know, that whole thing, right? When I tell you that, you go, oh yeah, and then whoop, put it away somewhere. Okay. If Jesus walked into your living room right now and said, Vivian, get up and follow me, right? What do you do with that? Oh, I'm in a Zoom meeting, Jesus. What can I bring my vitamins, Jesus? You know? You get what I'm saying? It's like, now it's going to take a minute for you to hear that when I say, give up the world and follow me, or ask and you shall receive, that I'm actually saying that to you. I'm actually saying, Vivian, ask and you will receive. You have to ask for an experience. But here's the caveat. You can't ask for it for yourself alone. Okay? You have to want that experience, which is universal. To be universal, you have to be willing to offer it to the whole sonship. Without any ifs, buts, or maybes. Right? Now, when it gets down to the nitty-gritty of offering it to the sonship, you're going to be in there looking like, what about those pedophiles? Or what about those warmongers? Or what about those drug dealers? They don't deserve it. What about all these other, right? That goes on. That's in the subconscious. That's what the defense mechanism against hearing anything is. We keep it in reserve, and somewhere we fall back silently in our decision making to try and protect ourselves against the things of the world that we think aren't worthy of our love, right? And all we're doing is denying that love to ourselves, right? You got to include everything in. God made his sun to shine upon the sinner and the saint equally, right? Christ's vision sees that way. You got to put all judgment aside and say, all right, I'm walking a path with God. This is how it has to look. I have to see my brothers the same way Jesus sees my brothers. I can't do that because I have all these judgments and I try to pretend I don't have them. I try to pretend that other people have them or whatever, and I'll project out my judgments onto others and say, well, you know, and keep myself separate. But it's like, no, if there's a sinner, it's me. If there's a saint, it's me. I'm one with everything. As above, so below. In eternity, so on earth. I'm one with all things. God's will is complete. Otherwise, it's not complete and I'm screwed. Get it? God's will is perfect. As above, so below. Here on earth, though, learning to accept God's will, learning to see through the vision of Christ, means that I have to put aside all my personal bias about everything, right? The easiest way to do that is to recognize you don't know what the meaning of the world is. You don't know the meaning of life. Why would I judge anyone or anything? That person just started a war over in Ukraine. That's a bad person, blah, blah, blah. Says who? How do you know what anything is? You just told me you don't know the meaning of life and you want to start deciding what things ought to be and what they shouldn't be. Who the hell's going to listen to you? You don't know nothing. The meaning of life is the most basic thing to know for anyone, and you can't tell me it. Right? It even tells you in the course, God is the source of all meaning. If you want to know the source of all, if you want to know meaning, you've got to go to the source. Right? That emptiness you feel inside, that lack of belonging, that weird sort of feeling like you don't fit in and all of that sort of stuff. Listen to that voice. Listen to that harmonic. Listen to that in you. That will lead you into the darkness. That will lead you into the void, into that scary place that you don't want to go, which is actually where God is. Except you put all these barriers up. No, don't go there. It's terrifying. Right? Before time and space began. I burned all those bridges for a reason. If I start going into that uncomfortable, dark, fearful place, then I'm going to have to get to the point where I put all those defenses in place for, which is going to bring me right back into contact with my Father, and my journey ends. You don't want to end the journey. You just want a better version of it. You want a version of it that you can manage and hold up in front of God and go, yeah, I'm doing all right, fuck you. That's exactly what you're doing. What I'm doing. That's what every human being does. I'm the master of my world. And then when it gets too much, oh, help me, God, help me, help me, help me. My world's too heavy. Everything's going crazy. And then as soon as God starts to help, or as soon as your mind starts to heal a little bit, oh, it's all better now. Fuck you, God. Hey, hey, party on, you know, woohoo. And then, oh, help me, help me, help me, help me. Like the mind is completely just all over the place. All right. But you get the results of your own thinking, and that's how you learn. I'm telling you, Vivian, throw all your vitamins out. I'm telling you, Vivian, dump all those ideas, right? I'm not going to tell you when, but I'm going to also tell you that I know that at some point you did, because I've already seen you in the light. I've seen you in eternity. I know that you're an eternal being. There's nothing to fear. Your journey, there's nothing to fear. Your process, there's nothing to fear. When you hear there's nothing to fear, maybe a different thing, however. Okay? That's why it's a journey of faith. That's why you have to take leaps of faith. Faith is its own reward, and you take one little leap of faith, and it gives you enough courage and strength and faith to go to the next one that shows up. And when you're doing those lessons, you realize how out of accord you are with Christ-minded perception. And you're like, oh my God, I've got to change so many things in my mind, my thinking about so many ideas that I've got in order to bring myself into an alignment with that Christ mind in me, so I can begin to see with the vision that Christ's offering me so I can use it. As I use it, I'll bring myself into the experiential awareness of what it is that's going on in my mind. And then as soon as that happens, it's like you lock with God and you're gone. You'll have an experience. Until then, it's sort of like not quite lining up, not quite lining up. I've got vitamins over here, I've got something over there, but never here and now perfectly, you know. There's always something. That's why every day should be devoted to miracles. Every day should be a living awareness of not so much the miraculous nature of life, because like that's the status quo anyway, but where it is that I deny that. And I'll see where it is I deny it by being vigilant for my own state of inner peace. If I'm not aware of my own state of mind, I'm not going to be aware when I lose it. All right? The mind training is teaching you to be aware and to be conscious of your thinking, conscious of your thoughts, aware that when you carry the Holy Spirit with you, or the Spirit of holiness with you, out into the street, into your workplace, into the supermarket, everywhere you go, and you'll see where it is you get triggered. You'll see where it is you get pissed off. If you don't see it, all that happens is your ego will just push it aside, like it pushes everything aside to try and protect you from feeling something. And you'll further enforce that way of thinking rather than allowing yourself to be miracle-minded. Okay? There's only two ways to think, with God or without God. One of those ways is a true way, and the other way doesn't mean anything. What even is that without God? If God's everything, how can I ever be without that? I can only ever be without that in my own awareness of myself, and only in a dream, in a fantasy, in a delusion, in my insanity. You know? Jesus says in the Course, every little sigh of discontent, the tiniest little sigh, is the denial of the entire sonship. My heart and my mind join in this deep sense of inner peace and being, and happiness to be included, happiness to be one with all things. It's like, wow, I'm happy to hear that. Now, I'd like to experience that. I'm happy to understand these ideas, but I want to actually experience that for myself. 1,000 people can ride a roller coaster and tell you how incredible it was and scary and crazy, and you'll go, wow, that sounds amazing. But until you actually do it yourself, what is it? It's just someone else's stuff, right? So it's like, ask and you shall receive. I can't tell you how to ask. I can only tell you that you have to. Right? This is a required course. When you actually ask is up to you. That's the only freedom you have, really. The other ideas you have about free will and stuff, they're rubbish. The only freedom you have is how long do you want to take? I'm telling you that on this side of the experience, it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. Think of the worst terror you've had in your life and multiply it 1,000,000 times, right? It lasts for a second. And by the time you realize how terrifying it is, you'll be out the other side. Remember when you were a child and your mother would pull the plug out of the bathtub and you'd be like, oh, I don't want to go down the hole. And you'd have that, like, that unreasonable terror that you might get sucked down the hole where the water goes, and what's down there, it's dark and makes that horrible noise. It's like, no, I'm getting out before the last bit of water goes down. I'm out of the tub. Right? But that's what it's like. Like it's a moment of shock, a moment of it's a moment where you can't do anything. Right? You can't do anything about that moment. The moment it dawns on you and you realize it, it's done. You can, however, feel the approach of it. You can feel the approach of it. It's like an impending kind of anxiety for a second, or an impending kind of sense of doom or dread or whatever. And if you're meditating when it happens, you'll get a sense of darkness and emptiness and expansive void, right? Go into that. I've met so many people that tell me, oh, I started meditating and then I thought I was going to lose my mind and get sucked into this black thing. I'm like, what? You stopped? Get sucked in. Let yourself go into that dark space for a second, pop out the other side, remember God, and then come back and help me with this Course in Miracles endeavor. Right? That's where it's at. Everything else you're doing in your world, in your dream, in your life experience is simply an orchestration or part of an orchestration to bring you to a point where you become willing to say, yes, Lord, and have that experience. Okay? The Course is just here to save you time. That's it. You can go on and be the best at whatever you want to be out in the world. You can go on and stand at the pulpit and represent God in church. You can do all sorts of stuff. But until you have an experience, you're avoiding the experience. Right? And it's a conscious avoidance. Separation from God is a deliberate choice. I chose to come here of my own free will. God gave me free will and I used it to project my mind into a dimension that doesn't exist. I used it to project my mind into a dream so that I can imagine that I'm in a dream and not in my Father's kingdom. It's like, that's pretty intense. How did I do that? Oh, I don't remember. How are you going to get out? I don't really know. I used the power of God to get in here. Maybe I'll have to use the power of God to get out. What's the power of God? I don't know. I can't remember that either. So you're screwed. Yes, I'm screwed. You'll need a miracle. Yes, I need a miracle. Right? Thank God for the miracle. Right? At least you're laughing. You know, at least you're laughing. Don't build a kingdom on earth. Make your way to the exit. Don't build a kingdom on earth. Make your way to the exit. Bring with you all that will come with you. Do what you need to do to feed your body, put clothes on it, and just keep it as simple as you can. But until then, don't get comfortable. Don't try to put down roots where you don't belong. Stay in the flow and allow the grace of God to guide you to the next elevator. You know, ding, going up. Yes, this is the Miracle Express. 3rd floor. heal the blind, lepers, you know. Get the idea?
Yeah.
Top floor. Oh, you don't want to go to the top floor.
What's up there?
Right, exactly. What's up there? You know perfectly well what's up there. Cool. Doug, what's going on? I like your haircut. It's keeping it simple.
Well, I'm doing quite well, thank you very much. I had a lovely day because there was no judgment throughout the day, so I felt just very much peaceful. I felt very loving, and I had no complaints, and it felt kind of miraculous, and I enjoyed it. I felt it before, of course, but it just felt even deeper, perhaps. And I was singing, and what I think helped this was during a meditation, maybe yesterday, whenever there was a thought, and usually there aren't that many. They could be a theme of thoughts that interrupt or present themselves in the meditation. And I was able to, I think, with the help of listening to the lessons, just see them as judgments. And so whenever a thought would come, however much they are part of kind of a theme of thoughts, I would just look at them as judgments and go, okay, there it is. And then just let it do whatever it was going to do, and then move back into the meditation. And I think that simple approach the past day or two has helped me. It kind of freed me a little bit to feel loving and peaceful, and just wherever I am is good to be, and not hating people.
That sounds good.
I have to let the last part out, got to go for a laugh here and
Right,
there.
Right. You could take it up a notch and just say, and not hating myself, because that's the same thing.
When I
It
said
keeps,
that. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Exactly right. I just got that as soon as I said it.
Right. Good. I like the bit where you were singing. That was nice.
Yes, that was quite nice.
Very, very good. Laurie. Oh, we've lost Anthea. She's off for a wardrobe change, I'd imagine. Laurie, what's going on?
Oh, it has been an interesting week. Whoops, let me see if I can get my screen here so that I can see you. There you are.
I can't see you. Mine's all dark. I'm not sure. Oh, there. I'll sit.
Well, you've been touching on things that I've been working through this week, and one of them is a little background. I have many years of recovery from multiple addictions.
Oh.
However, there has been one addiction that I have yet to be able to overcome, and it's food. I have tried, like someone asked me to write down everything I had tried, and that was like, I don't know, 10 years ago. It took 10 pages. And this week I got to the point where I said, screw it, I'm done. I am done trying to fix this body. I am done listening to the experts. I'm done listening to the arguments of who's right and who's wrong. It's all bullshit. I'm going to die, just like you said earlier, I'm going to die of something someday, probably anyway. So, if I get beamed up now, fine. I'm just tired of fighting it. And so, like a day or so after I made that decision, I'm reading one of my lessons. I can't even remember which lesson it was. I'm reading a line that I have no idea how many times I've read this sentence.
Yeah.
But it hit me to the core. And it was, Christ has dreamed the forgiven world.
Right.
And I went, oh my God. Yes, it's done. He has dreamed the forgiven world. There, I don't need to listen to the bullshit of the ego dream. And I went into meditation, and it was like I was shown a double screen, and one was a screen of the ego dream, and the other one was the screen of the Christ dream. And the Christ dream was just so bright and beautiful and full of color. And I thought, I can choose that. I can choose that. And yet here I am. And I'm going, and what would Dave say? What do you want? Well, I want that bullshit, or you'd have it.
Right.
So I've been laughing at myself all week. It's like bullshit. If you wanted it, you'd have it. It's there now, though.
That's right.
So I know it's there, and I can't deny that.
Right. Good.
And
Now,
just
stay in
like
what you just said. Stay in what you just said. I know it's there and I can't deny that. Now, stay there. Close your eyes for a second. Take a breath. I know it's there and I can't deny it. I know it's there. I can't deny it. The idea that you can't deny it is what the denial is. The idea that you can't deny it is what denial is. You would have to be in denial to tell yourself you can't deny it. Okay? Otherwise, you'd just be in the Christ dream. I know it's there. I'm denying it. Not I can't deny it. I know it's there. I am the denial of it. Because you're never the effect, you're the cause. You're the state. If there's a denial, it's me. Now, accept yourself in this dream as the denial rather than trying to change that. And that energetic block, that energetic bridge that you're looking to cross will happen automatically. Okay? As soon as you accept it. I can't deny that. That's an ego defense, right? I am the denial of it. It's not that I can't deny it, I am denying it. Right? I am the denial. I'm the denial of God. Holy cow. I am the devil. I am the Lucifer. I am the ego. I am all of that stuff in this world. That's how I find myself. That's why I have mind training, so I can bring about this shift in my consciousness to realize that that perception of myself is false. But I can't accept that it's false until I first accept that that's the perception of myself that I have. That's the perception of myself I'm holding. I see myself as the denial of love. Holy cow. I won't let myself see that I see myself as that. I won't let myself experience that I see myself as that or want to see myself as that. But it's the truth. In this world, the truth is the opposite of the truth in eternity. In eternity, the truth is formless and eternal. In this world, it's form and it's time and it's space and beginnings and endings and everything else. until I accept the world exactly as it is, in what it represents, I'm always going to be at odds with it, thinking that there's a world and a me that's separate, a Christ dream and a me that's separate, right? For me to be able to cross that bridge to get to the Christ dream, which is just a bridge, a decision in the mind, first I need to see what it is I'm doing in my mind that's preventing me from crossing it, by accepting that I'm responsible for what I'm doing in my mind. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear there's a forgiven world. That's going to ruin my dream of denial. Now I have to choose. Which world do I want to see? I'm the dreamer of my dream. I'm the maker of the world I see. A new world is being held out to me. But in order to step into that new world, I have to be willing to relinquish the one I made for myself. To relinquish the one you made for yourself, you have to realize why you made it. I made it to deny God. I made a choice to deny God, hide myself in a dimension that is completely illusory, come to a world where I can experience that and prove to myself that my ideas about believing in separation and the potential that that has is real to me. I'm only telling you it's not real. I'm not telling you that your decision making is good, bad, or anything. I'm just telling you, hey, Laurie, it's just a dream. You can continue to try and hide in the dream all you want, but I'm awake. I know it's not real. It's been very convincing up until now. Thanks very much, but no thanks. Not interested in playing in your world anymore. And I'm holding out my hand to you and saying, if you choose, we can leave this world together and we'll go hang out with Jesus. But you're the one that's got to hear that. It's like when I was telling Vivian about, Anna rather, about connecting with it. I can tell you and tell you and tell you. You can read that line like you said before. I read that line so many times and all of a sudden, holy cow. Now, what are you going to do about that holy cow? It's the same thing as Vivian. Ask and you shall receive. Exactly the same thing. Now you need a miracle. Now you need a miracle. You've seen your mind is split. You've got the offering of the perfect world. You've got your world. You're not in denial of the perfect world. You are what the denial is. You're the symbolic representation of the opposite of the perfect world. The body is the symbol of the ego. It's like, oh, that's kind of dumb. Why did I do that to myself? It's funny when you can see it.
It's stupid.
You mean this crappy little flesh and bones organism that isn't nothing more than a speck of dust in the universe is the denial of God? It's the symbolic representation of the denial. It's nothing. You get on a rocket ship and go out to the planet Mars. I don't even know if you can see Earth. It's just a little thing. And then you're somewhere on Earth sitting in your living room and zooming. You go further out and further out. It's like, where's Laurie? You know, it's like, see that star there? It's like, imagine 3 fingers to the left, and then there's a whole planetary somewhere there, and she's there somewhere watching a TV screen. It's like, really? That's the denial? It's like, I keep my finger here. I can only ever represent the truth. I can only ever represent the alternative. So Jesus says, you made time and space as a defense against God. I can tell you that and I can show you the alternative, but it's you that's got to choose when you want to accept it. It's like, that's why we have all these blocks, all this stuff going on in the mind, all these thoughts. And during our meditation, we can let them go, let them go, let them go, but we have to choose to let them go. We've got to choose to let go of the world and choose to allow the Holy Spirit to do his work in us. I don't know how to let it all go. I have no idea. It's going to take a miracle. It's going to take something to happen that's not of my own making.
Oh.
Right. Now you're at the precipice. It's literally going to take a miracle.
I got it. I just got it. It's
Right.
like before you
I know, I heard
mentioned
you get it.
before you mentioned the bridge, I saw myself standing at the entrance to a bridge that went over an
Right.
expanse and into the forgiven world. And when you said it takes a miracle, I thought, oh my God, all I have to do is ask Jesus to walk across the bridge and help me walk over it.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't have to do it alone.
No.
I don't have to be a victim anymore. You know, it's like he's
No.
saying, you can stay here and be a victim if you want, or you can come across the bridge.
That's right. It's your choice. But here's the caveat. You can't come across the bridge alone.
Right, I got that.
Right? That's both your blessing and your curse.
I got that.
You have to bring everybody with you. The whole sonship. Murderers, warmongers, robbers, rapists, you name it.
I can do that.
You have to be willing to forgive the world you think you made to cross that bridge. And we're doing that a little bit at a time, or perhaps we're going to just be totally fed up and done with it, and we're just going to do the whole thing in one go. What that is for you, I don't know. But somewhere in your heart and somewhere in your mind, when you look out into the world and you see the suffering of the children and you see the war and the chaos and the sorrow and everything else like that, man, if that's not enough impetus for you to want to just cross that bridge and bring everybody with you in the loving arms of God, I don't know what is. One child that suffers is enough for me. Suffering is an idea that I project out there. Why would I want that? Why would I want that? Why would I want to leave anyone behind? Knowing that those who seem to cause the greatest amount of harm and whatever, apart from the fact that they only have the meaning I give them, are the greatest call for love. They're the greatest shout for love. So they're calling, help me. Those kids in America that go in and shoot other kids in school. They're not shooting kids in school. They're screaming from the top of their voice, help me. I'm struggling. I'm dying. This is the only way I know to be heard. You know, it's tragic. Jesus says, delay in time is tragic indeed. Salvation is offered you now. Now. If you truly knew, if you truly could hear that at some point you're going to lay your body aside, why wouldn't you just do it now and save your brothers all that suffering? Be reborn. Be reborn. Here I am, Lord. Take my body. Here I am, Lord. I'm willing to forgive. I don't know how the hell to forgive. I don't even know what that looks like. I don't care what I have to go through. I want it to stop. I'm done with the world. I need a miracle. I want to cross that bridge and I want to bring everyone with me. I don't care if I'm the last one across. That's the heart of the Christ. That's the pure of heart. That's why you have to feel it in your heart. You have to feel these words. You have to connect with them. Get out of the head. The head is the place that makes the decision, but the heart is the passion. Look at your brothers. Look upon them lovingly. All living things are alive in you. Either that or they're dead in you. I can't see one thing separate from anything else. I have to see the truth in everything. Isn't that right, Tina? Now, that may look like a process for a minute. That may look like a retraining of my mind so that it enables me to look into areas of my, like when Jesus says, seek for the blocks and find them, there's places in my mind. It's like I'm still looking on the surface, right? I'm still looking here in this superficial conscious level. It's like, well, why would that even be there? What is that trigger representing? There's a block to love's awareness in me that's buried so deep. I've got to find it where it is. Holy Spirit, come with me, show me where it is, and then deal with it for me. You got to do everything with God, every step of the way with God. It's like, why won't I cross that bridge? I'm not terrified to cross the bridge. I deliberately don't want to cross the bridge, because if I cross the bridge, it ends my dream. My dream is the weapon I use against God. Why do I use a weapon against God? Because I'm trying to end God. I'm trying to deny God, void God completely, so I can be the creative source of life. It's a tiny, mad idea. Into eternity where all is one, crept a tiny, mad idea at which the Son of God remembered not to laugh. It's like, how many times has it been repeated throughout human history? Especially in like days of old, when the son of the king would depose the king to become the king. Ah, my dad's old and crotchety. I'll dispatch him with a blow of the sword now, and I'll take his place. I think it was the second king of France died that way. His son murdered him. Vikings. If you think the king's too old and crotchety and not doing a good job, you can challenge him to a fight. It's pretty easy for a 30-year-old guy with an axe to beat an 85-year-old guy with an axe. I'll just depose God because I'm the Christ and, I know what I'm doing. It's like God gave me free will. What am I going to do with it? I'll depose my father. I'll be God. That's a tiny, mad idea. But somewhere in your mind is the place where that tiny, mad idea took root. Right? Not the mind of Laurie, somewhere in mind, like whole mind, Christ mind. Right? But it no longer exists there. It was healed in the resurrection. That place where it existed was the idea of death. Right? Jesus is like 3 days in the tomb, dancing around every head. Look, Thomas, put your fingers in the hole and back. See, death didn't work. Right? Also, Enoch, the only other person in the Bible who didn't die. Right? The idea that there is no death is a point of reflection in the mind that stops you dead in your tracks. Right? What do you mean there is no death? Now what? Everything I do, I've been counting on death. It's kind of funny when you can see it. It's like, oh, I'm doing this to myself? Yes. Who am I going to blame for that? What can I do about it? A miracle. Heidi, what's going on?
Thank you.
I don't know, a lot's coming up.
Really?
Yeah.
When was that coming up?
Well, it's the whole time.
Is it coming up now?
No.
Oh, so you're talking about the
No.
past.
Yeah. Well,
All right, what's happening now?
now, what's coming up now versus what you've been like, what's been coming up is that.
No. You're still talking about the past. Ready? What's happening now?
Well, nothing's happening now.
Right. Good. Stay there.
Yeah.
Stay there. Nothing's happening now. Nothing's happening at all, actually,
Right.
including the idea that stuff's been coming up.
Yeah.
Right. There's only now.
And that's where I've been, but that gets depressing sometimes. My mind judges that
Right.
as being like this depressing space, but it's also the
So
most
don't do
peaceful
it.
space I've ever been in.
Right. So you're split. You've got both sides.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Don't adjust to that. You're going to keep coming back to that again and again and again, the here and the now. And part of your mind's going to say, oh, it's really peaceful and calm, and thank God for that. And the other part of your mind's going to go, this is so depressing. There's nothing here. Right? Don't adjust to that. That's the perfect example of the split mind. I've got everything I want, but everything I want doesn't fulfill me. Don't adjust. Let that take you. That'll take you straight into the void. That'll take you straight into that place where there's nothing else. Right? I'm telling you, there's nothing else. Right? When you master the art of here and now, it is boring. When you master the art of here and now and you're still in the world, that's boring as hell. You don't want to be in the world when you've mastered that.
It's so beautiful too. Like,
Right. But you can sit there saying it's so beautiful forever. Don't you want to know why that's what that's for? Here and now. Here and now is literally the jump off point to an experience. When you find yourself in the here and now, like in your meditation, you should literally be hearing the conductor saying, all aboard for the next thing. Right? Don't get caught into the how beautiful it is and think about how nice and peaceful it is. Just stay there without thinking about it. Here and now, stay there. Here and now, stay there. Oh, it's so beautiful and peaceful here in the here and now. That's just a concept. It's a better one than not being here and now. It's a better one than being like, oh, I've been going through stuff all week or whatever. That's fine too, but it's got to bring you to the here and now. It's like Laurie. Laurie's in the here and now, right now. She's got a decision to make. All her stuff for the whole week, everything that's been going on has brought her to this moment. I see I have to make a decision. There's a bridge. Do I cross or don't I cross? That's the same with you. There's a bridge. Do I cross or don't I cross? Your bridge looks slightly different. It's the here and now. It's the same bridge actually, but in your mind, it's like it's peaceful. All right, let me stay there in that place. Right? You know, when we do our light meditation, we draw our circle. I'm here and now. I'm there. I'm not going to adjust. When you do a silent listening, you find the here and the now. Right? Even calling it the here and the now is an association. It's kind of like dumb, but I don't have any other way to talk about it. So it's like we say here and now, and we stay there, abiding with the spirit. Does that make sense?
mm-hmm. Yeah, the words
So
don't
you-
adjust come up a lot. Like, don't adjust, just
Yeah, absolutely. If you truly sit in the here and the now, it'll draw you into the darkness. It'll draw you into the nothingness, right? You're standing on the edge of it, looking at it going, oh, there's nothing there in the here and the now. It's peaceful, but there's nothing there. I want you to stay in the nothing there. There is nothing there. That's where I want you to stay. Stay there and let the nothing there call to you, because there is something there. You're only used to seeing that there's nothing there based on everything else you think's going on for you. None of which is true, because there's actually nothing happening. Like you said before, there's nothing happening in the here and now, right? It's the paradox. You're caught in the paradox. You're stuck there where there's the here and the now that's nothing there, and the here and the now, but it's so peaceful, right? Now, that's a paradox, sort of, or it's not quite a paradox. I don't know what you call it. It's a rock and a hard place, perhaps, right? But the answer to it is don't adjust. Let it be miraculous. Here I am, Lord. I've reached the end of the road, literally.
I think that's
I'm in
where
the
I'm
here and the,
at. Like there's
right.
like I need a mirror. I can't analyze myself out of this. I can't I'm not there anymore. I can't even
Right.
I have to be like, I need a miracle. I don't know. And so
Right.
here I am. I
Good.
don't know. I don't know.
Good. Good. Now your ego is going to try and backpedal and give you things out in the world to do. Right? What about this? What about that? I'll go to work and then I won't have to think about it. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Literally, your thinking about it is going to make it worse. Right? And you're not thinking about it is going to make it worse. You're going to come back to this point again and again and again because you know it's there now. You know there's a point in you between a rock and a hard place that you can't think your way out of. Okay? That's the same thing with Laurie. Laurie's at the beginning of a bridge. She knows the bridge is there. Right? She's in the same place. I'm between a rock and a hard place. What do? Go back to my old dream of death, or do I cross the bridge? It's the same thing. Right? Either way, it's got to be miraculous. Either way, you've reached the end of your dream. You've reached the end of the road. You're going to go back and try another road, another way? What for? You know they all end in death. Right? You're going to stay there and not take that next step, that leap of faith and cross the bridge? Sit in the void? Sitting on the fence does nothing. You have to make a decision, right? But you can't do it by yourself. Holy Spirit, I need help. I want to sit in the here and the now. I want to enter the void. I want to go into that darkness, that nothingness, that emptiness, and out the other side. I want an experience, right? You got to ask. It's not the words, it's the heart, right? The prayer of the heart is in you. God put it in you himself. Right? And when you really, really, truly feel that rock and a hard place in you, that place, when you really feel in that, the prayer of the heart will come up. Okay. You'll just know it. You'll feel it so bad, you'll wish you could die. You can't die, but you wish you could. Just remember, it's a choice. I'm choosing life or death, life or death, life or death. Jesus is holding out his hand to you saying, hey, give up the world and follow me. Yes or no? Yes or no? Here's a bridge. You want to cross it? Yes or no? It's the same offer. Here's salvation, Heidi. Yes or no? Rock in a hard place. Yes or no? Or you're going to go out in the world. You can't do anything in the rock in a hard place. Right? That's literally the guarantee you can't fuck it up. You can't get it wrong because there's nothing you can do there. Your hands are tied. You can bounce around in your head all day long trying to figure out what to do in that place in the here and the now. You're never going to find a solution. The only solution is to be still and let it happen. How deep do you have to go to be still? I don't know. How much integrity and you know, where's the juice to want to sit there? Jesus went in the desert and drew a circle, 40 days and 40 nights. Rock in a hard place moment for 40 days and 40 nights. I'm either going to find God, face all my demons and find God, or I'm going to die in this circle. Right? That's literally the mindset. That's the mindset you have to take on board. I've got nothing going on anyway. What the hell have I got to lose? There's nothing going on anyway. What have I got to lose? I'm either going to eat myself into an early grave or become a drug addict and inject myself into an early grave or whatever. It's like, well, let me use my body for something actually helpful. Let me draw that circle. It's a circle in the mind. Jesus did it in form. Jesus went into the desert and did it in form, 40 days and 40 nights. That whole 40 days and 40 nights is an idea. It represents a refusal to adjust. I'm not stepping out of this circle until I experience something. I refuse, because I see that stepping out of it is just avoiding the rock and the hard place. Stepping out of it is avoiding the issue. And what's the point of that? I'm just going to die anyway. So if I die in the pursuit of facing the issue, so be it. But I'd rather not. I'd rather have a leap of faith and put all my faith in God and just sit in that moment for a second and have an experience that shows me my reality. That's the whole point of meditation. If you're meditating and don't have any experience, then you're doing it wrong. Right? I think Anthea's gone to bed. All right, so we'll do a meditation. Anna, you good?
Yep. I'm
Good.
good.
You guys are all getting to the point now where you're starting to realize your purpose, what it actually entails. You've been in this long enough and doing the workbook lessons and Zoom meetings and stuff where you're starting to sort of see what it is that you're about. And it's hard to hear it. It's really hard to hear it. The mind is geared towards not hearing. It's an uphill, steep climb, and the way is rocky and hard. And there are a few people found on that way, right? It's like Jesus says, you have ears to hear, but you don't hear, you're deaf. It's like trying to actually hear this, man, it's tough. It's like, you mean I have to not adjust to my pain? I have to resist not evil? Yes. Resist not evil. That's the whole thing. The whole teaching of Jesus Christ. Resist not evil. So we draw our circle. Close your eyes. And you got to remember, evil is not like bad stuff like demonic and whatever. Evil is an Aramaic word. It means error. It means mistake. It's an archery term. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. Is it cold where you are, Heidi? You have a big rug thing on? It's winter here. It's like the middle of our winter. All right, take a breath, breathe in, breathe out, focus, get yourself grounded. Here I am, Jesus, here I am. I see that I have a decision to make and I'm determined to make it. I have a decision to make and I'm determined to make it. Breathe. Somewhere in your mind, you have actually already made it. I've invited the Holy Spirit in and he's going to do his work in me, and it's actually already done. I want to find that place. I want to experience that. It's already done in me. Obviously, if you have an actual grievance or something going on, or a judgment, or something you're consciously aware of, deal with that first. Okay? Take this from me, Lord. I'm willing to forgive myself for asking this person to play that part for me. I'm the dreamer of my dream. I'm responsible for the experience. Breathe. Heidi, your screen's gone blank. Are you there? Oh, you're there. Yep, I can see you. Okay, that's good. You just went really dark. Doug, breathe. Close your eyes, Vivian. There's no one outside of yourself. Everything's only going on in your own mind. I'm a figure in your dream. I'm an idea representing another idea that you're trying to tell yourself you want. I want the truth. I want to know what I am, but I also want my vitamins. Right. See, you have a decision to make. It's the one decision. It takes so many forms. It can look like anything. Breathe. Close your eyes. Heidi, go deeper. Feel it. That's it. Let yourself feel. Laurie, let yourself feel. You're standing at that bridge. Good. Breathe. Anna, Tina, breathe. You guys all feel pretty good, actually. There's a good reflection for me. I love you all so much right now. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Come on, Vivian, breathe. Let's get some air in those little lungs. Ready? Not through your mouth, nose. In through your nose, out through the top of your head. Good. Focus. Here I am, Lord. Here I am. Here I come again to present myself and put myself on the altar to truth. Here I come again to try today to go beyond my body, beyond the form. I'm here to ask for a miracle and mean it. I see that there's no point carrying on without one. I see there's nothing in the world for me to find that is ever going to bring me happiness. I want to remember my Creator. I want to remember what I am as spirit. And I want that for all my brothers also, for everyone, everywhere. I want the experience. I want to know what I am. Make me a servant. Make me a vessel. Use me. Use me, Lord. Heal my mind. Heal me of indecision. Heal me of lack of courage. Heal me of lack of faith. Give me opportunities to take that leap. Give me opportunities to step into places I would ordinarily be fearful of. Let me go there, Father. Let me step into those dark places. I'm tired of avoiding them. I'm tired of pretending I'm okay. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I'm a child of God. This world is not my home. I'm a child of God. This world is not my home. 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 Hear it. This world is not my home. I am a child of God, a child of the universe. I am spirit. I'm not bound to this form. I'm not bound to this flesh. I'm not bound to this vessel, this avatar, this decaying, rotting corpse. This is not my home. I'm free because I'm a child of God. I'm free because God created me free. What God creates cannot be corrupted, cannot be destroyed. I'm still free forever, here and now. I am a child of God. Heidi, I'm a child of God. Heidi, I am a child of God. Feel it. Let it be devastating. Let it be devastating. Don't adjust to your pain. Do not adjust. Do not try to think something else. I'm a child of God. Am I going to give that all up for the next orgasm? Am I going to give that up for the next meal? Am I going to give that up for the next gratification, verification? Here is my circle. Here is my circle. Live or die. I'm going to sit here until I have an experience. I refuse to step out of the circle. I refuse. I'm here for an experience. This is my choice. This is my decision. I want to remember my father. I choose to be happy. I choose to be as God created me. And I refuse to adjust to that. I refuse. Breathe. Breathe. Feel, Vivian. Feel. Get out of your head. Go into your heart. Feel it in your chest. Feel it in your chest. Feel it. Anna, feel it. Feel it so deeply. I'm a child of God. God is calling. God's love for me is endless. I'm not this body. I'm free, for I'm still as God created me. Yes. Your addictions don't matter. Nothing matters. Only truth matters. The games you play in your own head don't matter. Nothing matters. Only truth matters. Be still. Draw your circle. Here I am, Lord. Present yourself to your Father. Present yourself in penitence. Present yourself in true humility. As the Christ, I am your son. I am your child. I am spirit. Feel, Doug. Feel. Inside of you is an emptiness. Inside of you is a hollow, a dark place where only God can fill. Inside of you is a sense of longing. Feel that place. Let it call to you. It's the call to awaken. Literally, it is the call to awaken. It is the echo of God's voice in you. Feel the emptiness. Feel the longing. It's not in the superficial level. It's not where you can examine it. It's not where you can think about it. How many years have you trudged this earth? Billions and many other earths just like it. again and again and again in a dream, an illusion of denial, an illusion of separation. Awaken. Feel. I feel the love of God within me. Feel it, Heidi. I feel the love of God within me. Don't adjust to that feeling. Sit in the feeling without examining it. Sit in the feeling. I feel God calling me. I feel God calling me from his love. From his love for me. Draw the circle. Step into it. Anna, step into it. Doug, step into it. Vivian, step into it. Tina, step into it. Heidi, step into it. Laurie, step into it. There is nothing outside the circle. There is nothing outside the circle. Just more illusion, more despair, more time wasted. Breathe. Here I am, Lord. Here I am, Lord. I'm here for a miracle. Now, Jesus says in the Bible, when you pray to your Father, pray in secret. Go into your closet and shut the door. And he who sees you in secret will answer you openly. I'm fully aware that the prayer of your heart is there. I'm fully aware that the prayer of your heart has already been offered and already been answered. We're going to stand in our circle until we're aware of it. We're going to stand in our circle until that's our awareness. That's our understanding of the way things are. Because there's nothing else. Truth is true and nothing else matters. Literally, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and then all else will come to you. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and then all else will come to you. Here I am, Lord. My seeking has brought me to this moment, here and now. Beyond it, I cannot go. Beyond it, there's nothing else. I can't think my way out of it. I can't work it out. I'm here. I'm at the door. I'm asking. I'm knocking. I'm not going to go away. I'm drawn my circle. I'm staying put. Breathe. Yes. Breathe. When you go before God, you will fall on your face. When you go before God, you will fall on your face. It's a posture of penitence. Not because you're guilty, but because that's literally what you need to do. That's literally the posture of the mind, a penitent mind. Here I am, Lord, in recognition that one of a lesser order stands before his creator. It's eating divine humble pie, not out of guilt, but out of a willingness to accept what's been offered. I am the denial. It's not like the denial is something apart from me that I just decided to take part in. I'm it. I'm all the denial there is. But I've been wrong about myself from the beginning. I've allowed myself to be taught badly. Now I can choose again. Now I'm entitled to miracles. Miracles are your right, but purification is necessary first. It's all part of the process. Forgive, forgive, forgive. Every act of forgiveness brings you deeper into the core of here and now. Every little moment of surrender, every little willingness to let go brings you deeper into the here and now, deeper and deeper in. Brings you nearer to the step that you have to take onto that bridge. A journey without distance in the space of an instant of reality. A journey without distance in the space of an instant of reality. Here I am, Lord. Here I am. Focus. Here I am. Heal my mind. Good. Vivian, relax. Let yourself feel. You're in your head again. Relax. Sit back in your chair. Sit back. Here I am, Lord. Rest your head against the back of your chair. Go on. Yes. Sit back, relaxing God. You ready? Here I am, Lord. Let yourself feel. Let yourself feel. God asks nothing other than that you come home, that you awaken. There's no penance to pay. Push, Tina, push. Here and now, focus. Go deeper in there. Get out of the conscious, go deeper. Let yourself feel. Go on, deeper, deeper. The place you don't want to go, that one place you don't want to go. Right. Into the dark. This is a journey into fear, not away from it. It's a journey into fear. Stop interfering with your journey into fear. Yes, Lord, here I am. Feel him calling. God calls ceaselessly upon your forgiveness to save you. Good. Feel the call. You can't hear it with your ears. You feel it inside. That emptiness, that longing. Feel it, Doug. Feel your Father's call. You hear it by feeling it. Connect with the thing that you're trying to avoid. Good. I'm trying to avoid my emptiness. I'm trying to avoid my void. I'm going to sit here in my circle. and feel. I'm going to sit here in my circle and let my heart open. Yes, Vivian, good. Anna, let it happen. Laurie, let it happen. You can't make it happen. Let is the activating word. Just let it happen. The moment that you give yourself permission to let go, your mind will automatically go where it needs to go. Automatically, it'll fly home in the blink of an eye. I'm willing to give up the world. I'm willing to release the Christ. I'm willing to let go of all control. I'm willing to surrender. Be aware you're probably lying about that. Oh, I'm not willing. I see that I'm not willing to let go. I need a miracle. I need help. Good. Yes, breathe. Good. That's good, Tina. Stay there. Stay there. Laurie, breathe. Take a deep breath. There's no such thing as addiction. There's no such thing as Laurie. There is only truth. Nothing else matters. Let go. Just let go. You can't work out how to let go. You just have to let go. You can't try to let go. You just have to let go. You get to a point, you just say, fuck it. You got nothing to lose. Nothing. Vivian, deeper. Sit back in your chair. Lean back. Lean back. Put your head on the headrest. Here I am, Lord. Here I am, Lord. Heal my mind. I'm here for an experience. Jesus went into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights to be tempted by the deceiver and faced all of his temptations in the circle. No food, Laurie. No water. No food, Vivian. No water. No food or water, Doug. Anna, no food or water. Just faith. Just faith. Here I am, Lord. I draw my circle and I refuse to adjust. Are you stepping into your circle? Are you really in your circle? Or are there things you have to do later today? Is there something else more important? Is there something else in your life you think that is outside the circle? I have to go to work tomorrow. I have to go to bed. I have to water my avocado tree. I have to paint another painting. I've got to tuck in my kids. No, that's all an illusion. That's all dream. Feel. There is nothing going on here. This is a dream. This is an illusion. Truth is true and nothing else matters. Truth is true and nothing else matters. Truth is true and nothing else matters. It's only because you believe that something else matters to you that any of this is required at all. I think something else matters. I have to go to the toilet. I have to answer the phone. I have to check my messages. How honest is it when you step into the circle? How willing are you to stand with Jesus? Here I am, Lord. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. And it's going to take everything, absolutely everything, just for one instant. Give up the world and follow me. Breathe. Feel. Vivian, sit back in your chair. Feel. God calls ceaselessly to his Son. Yes. Release the light. Release the Christ. Free your mind. Free your mind. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. You're not a body. Laurie, you are not a body. Vivian, you are not a body. Anna, you are not a body. Doug, you are not a body. You are my brother in Christ, 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 my brother in Christ. We are one. Truth is true and nothing else matters. Breathe. Oh. Good. Yes. Yes. Good. Come on, Heidi, feel. Get out of your head. Feel. You know you can't fix it in there. You know you can't do anything in there. Why are you trying? Feel. Breathe. Laurie, feel. Feel the love of God in you. There's one problem and one solution. The problem is I think I'm separate from God. The solution is I'm not separate from God. It's impossible to be separate from God. Impossible. God is everything. How could I be separate? Even if you were capable of making another something, it would still be in God. The dream is in the mind of God's Son. It's like you're in a coma and you must wake up from it. Breathe. Vivian, did you watch The Matrix yet? Oh, you're bad at homework. See, this is a course in miracles and study is required at some level. Your level is The Matrix. This is your third week running. You haven't done your homework. An academic like you too. Very disappointing. Tut, tut, we're putting an F on your report card to Jesus. But thank God you're a failure. Thank God you're a failure. If you could get this right, you would have done it by now. It's because you keep fucking it up that you're entitled to miracles. I'm never going to get this right. I can't even do my homework. I need help. Breathe. Heidi, I love you too. Anna, I love you too. You know, every effort you make makes it easier for the person in the queue behind you. Every effort in salvation that you make raises the vibration just that tiny little bit. Even if you think nothing happens, even if you think you're not achieving anything, it raises the vibration. Don't be concerned about your input, just your willingness. Yes, I'm willing. Yes, I'm willing. In that, the Holy Spirit does everything. Here I am, Lord. And then just let go. Anna, let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. Breathe. Heidi, let go. You can't let go and examine letting go at the same time. It's impossible. Breathe. Laurie, good. It's good. There's no need to go on a diet. There's no need not to go on a diet. You have no needs at all. You have no needs and no not needs. God goes with you wherever you go. Everything else, fuck it. God goes with you wherever you go. Everything else, fuck it. What the hell would you want anything else for anyway? God goes with me wherever I go. What more could I ask for? What more could I want? Let me experience that. Breathe. Jesus says in the Course, an experience is not only possible, but essential. It's not only possible, but it's essential. The only person who's keeping you from having an experience is you. It's like, all right, let me realize my falsity. Let me realize my denial. Let me heal my mind of that so that when I step into my circle, I'm being honest. When I step into my circle, I step into it from that place where I don't care. I don't care if I die. I don't want to, but I've got nothing else. Jesus says, give up the world and follow me. And I say yes, without reflecting on anything else. I just say yes and take his hand. I just say yes. What about my kids? What about who's going to feed my pets? You can't have an experience while your mind is still tethered to the world. Whilst you still have concerns and worries, ambitions, anything like that, you got to let go. At some point, you're going to let go anyway and fall into a pine box. You can't do anything about that either. Let that moment be now. Here I am, Lord. I'm saying yes. Breathe. Good. Feel. Yes. Good. Good. I think Anna's fallen asleep. Shh. This is the action of mind. This is the action of mind of true prayer. It's a surrendering. It's an appeal through surrender. Here I am, Lord. I'm saying yes to everything. I'm just saying yes to everything. Here I am. It's an action of mind. Carry that with you throughout the day. It'll show you where your blocks are. It'll show you where all your words are false. It'll show you where all your affirmations are rubbish. It's not much fun. It's not much fun seeing how full of crap you are, how much of a liar you are. You kind of got to get to that place, though. It's like, all right, everything I say is full of shit. Everything I say is a lie. Every word that proceedeth from the mouth of man. What's the point in being here? There isn't any. Just come home. Just come home. How many more bodies do you want? How many more incarnations? How many more lifetimes? What's it going to take? It's like as an artist is always chasing their masterpiece, always that one definitive piece of art that they're completely happy with, completely satisfied with. That one thing that defines them as an artist. The masterpiece. It's never going to happen. There's no such thing. There's nothing in the world you're ever going to achieve that is going to bring you happiness, going to bring you a sense of satisfaction. Everything's temporary. As soon as you achieve it, the gloss wears off. Onto the next thing, onto the next thing. Because you're not really looking for satisfaction in the world. You're looking for God. You're looking for truth. You're looking for yourself. It takes everything, absolutely everything. Give up the world. Give up the world. Follow me. Imagine 2,000 years ago, you'd be walking through the streets of some little town in the Holy Land. And you stick your head out the front door, and there's all these people going in one direction up the street. And you stop somebody and you say, "Hey, what's going on? Where are you guys all going?" You say, "I don't know. We're all following Jesus." "Why are you following Jesus?" "He's handing out fishes and loaves for free to everybody." "Oh, cool. I'm coming." And you get to the hill and it's like, that guy sure does talk a lot. When's he going to hand out the next lot of fish and loaves? This time it's going to be different. This time it's different. This time we're there to hear what Jesus says. I don't care if I get a fish and a loaf. I want to hear what he's saying. I want to hear it. I want to hear it in my ears. I have ears and I can hear. Fuck the fishes, fuck the loaves. That's not important. It's important that I hear. And it's important that I realize the places where I don't hear. I have to purify my mind. My purpose is to return my mind to God as it was given me, perfect. Salvation is freedom from concepts. Whilst I'm still using concepts to define my reality, I'm not free. I'm denying my freedom. I can't actually deny it, but I can convince myself that I'm denying it. It's a head fuck. It's a mind game I play with myself. It's a rock and a hard place, but there's nothing there really. It's like, you mean I'm free now? Yes. I don't have to do anything to be free? No. What about all this other stuff that I tell myself? Just let it go. Just let it go. What else do you want? I love you. You're my brother. I love you. You're one with me. I love you. I'm sorry for the dream. I'm sorry for the pain and the suffering and the meaninglessness, the emptiness. It was a dumb idea. Forgive me for telling you it's just a dream. Breathe. You're literally in the desert, Heidi. As the days go by, that awareness is going to grow and grow and grow. As the days go by, you're going to realize that place that you're at more and more and more. It's going to force you into an uncomfortable wedge. You can't avoid it. You know it's there. You made it up. It's a place in your mind that you give a meaning to. On one hand, it's this. On the other hand, it's that. But you can't do anything with it. Seen rightly, you can't do anything with any of your thinking. It all leads nowhere. It all leads back to exactly there. But rather than adjust to it now, we're going to sit there together. I'm going to take you by the hand. We're going to stand there and we're going to wait together. Laurie, I'm going to take you by the hand and we're going to wait together. Here I am, Lord. Everything is mind. Everything is mind. It's an idea. All thoughts have power. Salvation is a thought that has power. It's a thought that relieves you from all other thoughts. Trying to connect with that thought is a whole other kettle of fish. I remember I read a book called The Unknown Man once. Tina probably has it in her library. Oh, you do? There you go. The Unknown Man, and there was some beautiful accounts in there. I think Osho is in there, and Da John and a few other, whoever wrote the book, I forget his name, but there are accounts of the experiences of other enlightened minds and what they went through to reach that point in consciousness where they transcended time and space. Some people, it just happens automatically, like Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey was just hanging out with Eckhart Tolle for a little while and then just had a moment and gone. But if I look honestly at Jim Carrey's evolution, he played Yes Man, right? He did the Truman Show. It's a setup. That guy's been walking the path, whether consciously or unconsciously, since he started his acting career. Dumb and Dumber. It's like, what a great movie for, you know, understanding cause and effect.
What is the eternal sunshine?
The sunshine of the mind. Yeah. Right. Exactly. I mean, Jim Carrey is like a public expression of transformation, even before he met Eckhart Tolle. Right? He's been doing it for years. I wonder if he ever looks back on his process and looks back on his history and goes, holy cow, what a setup this all is. This is so orchestrated for my awakening, you know? And then there was that whole period immediately after where he was just crazy babble man. He couldn't make sense of it. He tried to make, he was talking stuff and he didn't even know how to put it into words. He was trying, and now he's kind of like come to a grounded kind of thing with it. And, you know, it's like, you guys are still making movies. You guys are still rehearsing the lines for Yes Man, right? Somewhere in the production of your own salvation, you're at where you're at. Vivian, we're adding that movie to your list, to your homework that you're probably not going to do. You'll have to go around to Heidi's house. I think she probably has some good video collections there and you can watch it together and have popcorn. Yes Man.
It's in
right? Where he takes a... Yes Man's really good for you, Vivian, because like he takes a leap of faith and says yes, even though his whole conditioning is to say no, because he thinks it protects him from being hurt. Okay. Watch Yes Man. That's your homework.
Vivian. It's in what I sent you. No, it's in what I sent you.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you've got that movie.
You sent it to her and she still hasn't watched it?
Oh, well, you know.
Man, look at that. It's like literally. Are you reading the course, Vivian? Are you reading your book? Well, at least there's that. We're naughty little children. I'm not doing my homework. I want to go out and play. If I do my homework, I'll be here till it gets dark. It's funny. It's funny stuff. Salvation is so simple. It's just about saying yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, wow, and thank you. If you say yes, wow, and thank you to everything, it's going to take you into some very uncomfortable places. Those uncomfortable places are perfect. They're opportunities to be miracle-minded. They're opportunities to take leaps of faith. If you keep saying no, nothing's going to change.
You say yes to everything.
All right. So do your homework.
I'm saying, you say, that's a question. You say yes to everything?
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. Say yes to
Yes.
everything. Ready?
Yes.
Yes. Wow. And thank you. If you can't, Vivian, here's the caveat to that. Okay. If you can't say yes, wow, and thank you to everything, right, with an attitude of gratitude, then you need another word, which is help. Help me, Lord, because nothing could possibly be asked of you unless it was God asking. Okay. Now, there's a cleanup in that. Okay. Because your mind is in the habituation of denying God, you've written a script where it seems like it's not God asking, it's other crazy people asking stuff, right? It's going to take a minute until you get on board with that whole idea that everything that happens to you is in your own greater good. So there's going to be things that show up in your dream that you're making manifest that are part of the old script still that you're going to want to say no to. Okay? Crazy people, crazy things. I'm not telling you to say yes if you don't feel safe, all right? Because it's going to take a leap of faith with everything, all right? But eventually you have to take a leap of faith. Eventually you got to say, what have I got to lose by saying yes? Okay. Watch the movie, do your homework. Now you've got 4 movies to watch. The Matrix, 1, 2, and 3, and Yes Man. Right. You're going to be a busy little bee. You can watch Yes Man tonight, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow, okay?
Yes. Wow. Thank you.
There you go. Now, and this one. All right. Well, any questions? Anyone, anything? Heidi, you have a question? Really? Feel like there's more there going on for you. Anna's good. Right. You really have to like imagine yourself as a disciple. You know, you have to imagine yourself as walking with Jesus because you actually are. You're a worker in the vineyard. You're one of the good guys now. It's okay to be one of the good guys. You're extracting yourself from the dream of denial and you're learning a new part to play, a new script, a new role. It's going to be shit learning the part because it's like it goes against everything that you've taught yourself. But one day at a time, one lesson at a time, one moment at a time. And you just keep coming back here and now, here and now. God is in me. God is in me. The kingdom of heaven is within. That's where I've got to go. The kingdom of heaven is within. The only thing preventing me from going there is that I've still given the world a value somewhere. The only reason that I don't ask from the heart for an experience is because I still don't want it. Even if it's one grain of sand in the world that you still value, the rest of the world stays in testimony to that grain of sand. And it's not that you have to give up the world physically, just the meaning you've given it. Oh, you mean I gave it a meaning in opposition to God? Yes. You mean I can't make that meaning ever true? No. You can convince yourself it's true, but that doesn't mean that it's actually going to be true. You mean I'm crazy? Yes. Right. Welcome to the nut house. Oh, I'm crazy. That makes sense of everything. Good. I see I'm a complete, total cosmic whack job. It's no wonder all my relationships fail. No wonder I'm never happy. No wonder everything doesn't make sense. I'm crazy. I must be the denial. Yes. but you're also the Christ. Accept the world exactly as it is, and you as exactly as you find yourself. Stop trying to be a better version of what you think you are, and accept yourself as whole and perfect right now, as above and below. I'm perfectly imperfect here, and I'm perfect as God created me in eternity. Therefore, I'm perfect, and the two perfects operate at the same vibration. Perfect is a vibration. Perfect is a frequency. Let me accept my perfection as imperfect here. Anything that denies me accepting it, I need healing. Get it? No, Vivian, we won't. See, that's because you don't do your homework. You're never going to get it. Why do you think I'd give you homework? Why do you think I'd give you homework? So you can not do it?
Because you love me.
It's like you can't be a doctor if you don't study the books, right? You have to attend the lectures, study the books, cut open the cadavers. You have to do all of that stuff. Jesus doesn't tell me in the course that I have to watch Yes Man, but he's telling you to say yes. He's telling you to keep an open mind. He's telling you to let go of control. He's saying, Vivian, just let go. Enjoy the ride. Vivian, just let go. Let it happen. Right. You say, I can't, Lord. I can't let go. I'm white knuckling it all the way. I can't let go. What'll happen if I let go? Because hanging on is all I've ever known. Right. Go to Tina's place and do a yoga thing. Bend yourself into a pretzel. That's it. You can do it.
All of that, yeah.
You guys can go stand out in the street with all the other crazy people in Little Italy and just do whatever you do there.
Little Bangladesh.
Little Bangladesh.
Get it straight.
It's all crazy. Stop trying to look for the bits of crazy that are not crazy. Stop trying to find a better deck chair on the Titanic. It's sinking. Get off. Get off the damn boat. It's going down. But I can see better from that deck chair, Jesus. Let me just go and try that deck chair. Maybe it's more comfortable. It's like, no, it's not. Get off the boat. Give up the world. Follow me. It all ends in death. All right. Well, I'm going to go and have some lunch, I think. I don't know what time it is. Oh, it's nearly 3 o'clock. That's lunchtime. Oh, the screen will change. There's Heidi down the bottom. How come you're so dark? Is it like midnight where you are or something? You just have no lights?
It's 10.
You didn't pay your bill?
No, I changed
Doug's
my
is
light bulb.
For a dimmer one?
I don't know where the remote is for it.
Oh. We're supposed to be increasing our light. Luckily, you're forgiven. All right. Happy days. Oh, look at that. There you go. Any questions? Anything? Anna, you good? Really? Where'd she go?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, stay in love. You guys are going to do the 20-minute book tomorrow. Do you do that? When do you do that thing, Tina?
We do it tomorrow before you. You said you're coming tomorrow, right?
Oh, no, I mean the other one. What's the other one that we added during the week?
Thursday. We do the 20-minute, the hour and a half. We get together to do the all 50 on Thursday.
And then we started. Did you put a video together or something, or are you still working on the little thumbnail?
They're
thing?
ready. I just published them last night, but I'll put them in the. I should send you the thumbnail. I used
We were
that
going to
one.
make a video. We were going to make a video. Oh yeah,
I used that one.
really? You use that picture?
Well, you said to use it as perfect for.
I hope you
I
got
need-
my
I need
good
a
side.
miracle.
I don't even know what side that is, but
I'll send it to you. I know that's of no interest to you, but I'll send it to you.
Remember-
But anyway, they're done. They're done. And I was going to do those. Just drop those in tonight. I published them last night, but I'll drop them in the chat tonight. I just didn't want to get it all confused with the meeting, so I'll do it tonight. And I'll put a master teacher in there too. So.
yeah. So we were talking about putting together a video of like best bits or something. You and Vivian were going to do something.
I'm going to stop recording. Oh, never mind. Go ahead,
Oh,
keep
you're
talking.
gonna
I'll just chop it off. Keep
Yeah.
going, keep going.
So you were going to put together a video of bits that we could send out to guys in other groups and things. That's what I was
Soon.
talking about.
Soon, yes, soon.
Okay. Yeah. All right. All right.
Yeah.
I'll leave that up to you. I just
Unless if anyone else would like to volunteer to help out with this, would be really amazing. If anybody feels
well, it's a
something in their heart.
collaborative venture. I think
Yeah.
Anna would help you out with that.
It would be so helpful. Oh, thank you. So yeah, all
She's
right.
a
So we
bit
got.
techie,
Is
more
she?
techie
I'd
than
love
me.
to help. I don't know how to do
Heidi.
anything.
I don't either. I don't know how to do
I don't know
anything.
any technical nothing.
I don't either.
So I know a technical thing. Wait, I know a technical thing. Let me tell you my technical thing because it could be the hub for all of this. I've got Windows Movie Maker, which is a
Oh,
free
you
thing.
do?
Oh, wow.
I do. And I made a little video of it using it the other day for something else, a little project that I'm putting together. And I was just able to drag and drop clips in and then add music, and not that I wanted to add music, but other stuff, and you can put writing on the bottom and all sorts of things. So maybe if you're keen to do that, maybe you could use a program like that, or maybe even that one because it's free, but pick a like one of the satsangs we've done and pick out like the best bit. So maybe each of you guys, if you want to do it,
Well,
pick out
YouTube's
the
got
bit you
a
like.
thing. It's really simple. YouTube's got a little scissor on the YouTube.
Oh, there you go.
So you
there you
can
go.
do
You already
just
know.
like little
Yeah.
TikToks, kind of like they're up to a minute long.
Yeah, just like that. But just like 10, 15 minutes each one. Then we can start posting them
that's
out.
long.
Other groups.
So you use Movie Maker for 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, any length, I guess. But I just keep getting it. It's like I keep getting that there are so many people doing a course around the world that are just all in their head with it. None of them are feeling it, and people say that to me all the time. So Vivian even last week said something, I've never been to a thing like this and had this kind of response or whatever it was you said. It's like, it's helpful.
Mhm.
So I think the more we can get it out, like ideas are increased by sharing. So the more we can get it out, the better it'll be. But I also want to, and this will put the wind up you, Tina, especially you, I also want you to start teaching this. All right. At some point, you've got to start stepping into the thing and make your own declaration. Whether you make a video or I don't care, maybe you might write poetry or whatever. I don't know. I have no idea. But in a way that you're like holding yourself accountable to it. Because that's where you're going to see the mistakes you make with it. It's like it's the highest pinnacle. If Jesus said to you, Tina, I want you to teach what I'm teaching to other people, you'd be like, holy cow. Can't I just represent my love through yoga? Can't I just be like, no, because there's a point in this where, I don't know if you can hear this, there's a point in this where you gotta, your vibration has to really like true up. It's like those last lessons in the course where it says, I'm not a body, I'm free, I'm still as God created me. That's not just something that he's saying. That's the truth, right? That's a declaration that you make, and it's also the truth about yourself. That's a statement of you're asserting something in doing those lessons, right? In that particular form, right? That's going to bring back to you a particular frequency of denial. I know you'd probably feel comfortable about it in a Zoom meeting like this with familiar friends and all of that sort of thing, right? But to actually step up on your own soapbox and hold yourself accountable to an action of forgiveness, right? In a particular way, it's like when Jesus sent the disciples out 2 by 2, go and heal the demons and do whatever. It's like, holy cow. You know, it's like 80 he sent out the first time. None of them came back. You're like, what? How the hell are we going to? Let's just go home. This is too hard. We can't do this. Right? That's going to be the final threshold. It's like there's an integrity. Heidi, you're the same. There's an integrity that's there with it, that it's like, well, what is my purpose? I can represent God. I can represent love through anything, art, poetry, giving a talk about umbrellas. It doesn't really matter. It's my passion and my joy that comes from a sense of union, that comes from a sense of wholeness that I'm presenting. But when you actually step up and talk about forgiveness in front of a world that's hell-bent on denying that, that's hell-bent on maintaining the status quo of death, that's where the rubber hits the road. It's really, really full on. I've had many meltdown moments, many moments of realizing my falsity when I'm standing up here trying to offer this in a way that might be helpful and might be useful, and realizing that I'm just like talking a right lot of shit. You know, hopefully not so much nowadays, but sometimes I hear myself and I'm like, what did I just say? It's like, and sometimes you'll have people that'll say something back to you and you'll be like, oh my God, they're right. I just totally misheard that, misunderstood it, whatever. But that brings you into an alignment more and more. The ego is going to hate that because the ego wants to stand up and be like perfect at it. And that's the penultimate thing for the ego mind, right? Is to stand up and be a perfect teacher of God. And you are already, right? But there's always an admission that I do that because I need to learn what it is I'm teaching. I have to teach it to hear it, right? At all levels, at all frequencies, at all vibrations, at all kind of, you know, it's like the old man after his awakening. Oh, my battery's running low. All right, we'll wrap it up anyway. But the old man used to go to his uniting church and teach from his experience. You know, I don't know whether he was au fait with the Bible or anything like that, but he would go to the uniting church and just express, like it was a place that was a very specific kind of setting, and he was there to do the Lord's work in that particular way. He could have just sat back and painted pictures and written poetry and danced in public and, you know, run through the meadows naked and whatever and express the love of God like that. But there's a point where he knew that he had to share what had happened to him. There's a point where he knew that he had to give it away so it could be shared increasingly and exponentially.
So that's what you're asking to do?
I'm not asking you to do it. I'm telling you that you will have to do it.
Okay.
I'm just saying there's a point in this where you accept the teacher of God mantle. I'm a minister of God. Now, what does that look like? Well, you'll be shown when you're willing to step into that role.
Okay.
You know, it may not look like what I do, right? That it doesn't matter. I'm not saying sit here in a Zoom meeting and help people through their whatever and hopefully hear it yourself. It'll be whatever it is. But it's gonna be different from what you're doing now. I can tell you that.
Okay, that's what I keep wanting to go. Is it like my yoga? But okay, I just wanted to keep sliding away from what you're saying.
No.
That's why. Yeah. Okay.
It's more like what you did the other day when you went into the street and found that guy with the hat, and you'd like, this is that guy I'm telling you about. It's more like that. At least that's what I see in you. But you know, who knows?
Okay.
I don't know nothing.
We'll see.
I'm just crazy. We'll see.
Yes.
Anyway.
Wow. Thank you.
Right. My battery is dying. I love you guys.
Love you.
see you tomorrow, I guess.
Yes, God willing, and the
All right.
creek don't rise.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Heidi, I'm so happy to see you. I'm happy
Yeah,
to see
I
you.
know.
I haven't seen Heidi in a while.
I know.
I know, in like, I don't know, 2 weeks.
A couple weeks.
So
I know. It still seems like a very long time.
I
So
know,
it
because
just
you're like
meant a
in
lot to
every
me to
meeting.
come on.
So yes, I was like, oh, Heidi's here. So
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Happy
I'm
see
hoping to
you,
get, get back into this routine. Like just things come
Yeah.
up, right? And it starts freaking
Yeah.
me out.
Well, I know you said your work schedule. Well, I mean, I don't know. Things come up. I totally feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
got you. But happy to see you when I can. So yeah.
Yeah.
All
No,
right,
this
love.
is perfect. So okay. I'll talk
All
to
right.
you. I'll be back next week. I'm gonna try to come in more often, but
Cool.
maybe we can
Cool.
connect sometime.
Yeah.
other.
Yeah. Let's. I would
Okay.
love that. All right, love.
Bye.
Bye.